actually true? You got booed? How did you get booed at today's one? No, it wasn't a lunch. It was no, yeah, what? They won by 50.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Hello, yes, and welcome back to the Eastland Match of the Round. It's a beautiful autumn sky out here for this massive clash between Donvale, undefeated side, heading into this game against the Basin. Donvale has scored over 100 points in about 4 of their occasions this year, and I'm sure we're expecting a very high-scoring affair down here at Donvale Reserve. This is the Eastland Match of the Round pre-game show. I'm joined here on the host, Blake Tennant, and joined here by Chris Cordis. Chris, welcome aboard to the pre-game.
Yes, thank you, Blake. Excited to be here. Happy that something's here to take my mind off the Wolves getting battered in the NBA. So, happy to be out here at Donvale Reserve. Looks like a good day for footy.
It's an interesting game as well this morning. It happened at Detroit winning that one, but we'll talk about the footy sort of things. And this morning, assistant Josh Ward saw him straight away with a big smile on his face. He's always happy being here, but good to have you on board here for pre-game, Josh Ward.
I was going to say, did you call me the smiling assassin because BWS is out the back at the moment?
No, that's just what I heard.
No, good to be out here at Donvale. It's an intriguing contest to see the Basin test themselves against, I think Brash said it last year, the incumbent of the division and the benchmark of Division 3 the last couple of years in Donvale, especially out here at Donvale.
You probably have to say the last 5 years.
Yeah.
From 2022 to about now. They've really controlled, this division, and unfortunately, if you've been following the league for quite a bit now, they've been they just can't finish it off in the last couple of minutes, and losing the grand finals by a margin of, I reckon, of about 6 to 8 points. I'm not going to say the obvious one, but that's been the greatest of grand finals for Donvale.
Well, I was going to say all 3 grand finals they've lost in the last 5 years have been each by 2 points, so combined 6 points, which is astonishing, and they've lost somewhat in different ways. Like last year, that Scoresby grand final, the Scoresby looked like they had most of the territory. It was an up and down battle the year before against Surrey Park, and then in 22 when they took on the Waverley Blues, it was an interesting contest and a scrap as well, all at Jubilee Park.
So hopefully they'll be asking the league, can they move to Jubilee Park away, I guess. But pre-game's on, so we're going to have the both coaches coming on board as well, just after about 1:40, I would say. Just want to quickly mention as well, I believe it's a 2-time premiership player, Matthew Liardi, playing his 200th game today. He's been a true Donvale one club, I would say. I can't remember him playing for another club, but it's great seeing him getting the reward, playing 200 games, 2-time premiership player, one in 2017 and the other in 2023. Great to see, boys.
Yeah, it is. He's a champion player, isn't he, Chris?
Yeah, that's exactly right, and you need those guys around the club that are kind of, part of the furniture. I'd almost go as far as to say, and all footy clubs are built off those guys that just give it their all year in, year out. And again, I'm sure that Donvale will not only be hoping they can get a win today for the record, but a win today to celebrate him properly.
And I just want to touch on, we will talk about this side, but the Basin are a little bit underdone today, you would say. I think there's a few outs. I think they've got about 12 senior blokes out today, so there's
got to be young guys pushing the older blokes, because the team has been very stable for a long period of time now. So there's another young fella out here that we got across from Vermont, Cade Grix, who is right there, is playing some very good football. Just about opportunities presenting for him. So that we feel like we've got 4 or 5 really good 18-year-olds that are coming through that are going to hold the club in really good stead.
So last year, three teams in the grand final. Side's going really well, but just want to talk about the opposition as well. The Basin. They had a tough loss last week where probably, if from us being mutual supporters, would have think that the Basin should win that one. But what are you expecting from the Basin today?
Oh, they've got a really strong midfield. They've recruited really well through the middle, and they're really well defensively set up. If you lose your structure in the forward half, they just line up across there, and they change the angle of the ball and look to bring it out the other side of the ground. So we know we've got to hold our structure. We know we're up for a contest out here today. They're a quality outfit, so expect it to be a really good, hot contest, and we'll see which way it falls.
And obviously, we've had a milestone man that we're going to see out here today, Matt Liardi in game 200. Obviously, throughout your time at the club and even...
We might have to go with Sir Josh Toby then as well.
Yeah, we can, but he's not playing for East Ringwood yet. So,
no.
But this one's going to be... I think it's going to be a way closer thing. And obviously, we know how good Doncaster East have started the year off, winning 4 games. Sorry, 5 or is it 5? I'm really off track.
4. Oh no, 5.
5. Yeah, they're one of 3
yes,
undefeated.
But they're doing the things where they're supposed to be doing, and they've done a really good job.
Yeah.
But the thing is now, it comes down to crunch time footy now. You're playing against the runners-up from last year in Blackburn, who do bring in a very handy inclusion. And how do you see this game panning out?
I think Blackburn on paper, and thank God BWS isn't within earshot, should get the job done, because you bring in Toby Wooler, but you also bring in Xavier O'Neill, the former West Coast Eagle.
Yes, that's a big in.
Which is, I think, is the Essendon VFL captain.
Yes, for a long time there.
Yeah, 22 disposals he's been averaging at the VFL level. And then you add in a guy like Daniel Wood that's pretty much close to full strength for Blackburn. As good as Doncaster East have been, and started the season, if you would have asked me who wins this game, I would have thought Blackburn by 5 or 6 goals. I still think it's just 3 to 4 goals the margin, maybe even 2. So Morton Park as well is obviously a tricky ground to go out to as well, Chris. Yeah,
it's exactly right, and it's 2 teams that still have a bit to prove for the rest of the season. We know Doncaster East have gone undefeated so far, but in all honesty, looking at their list, those are 5 games that they should have won. So they've got the difficult fixtures coming up now with the Blackburn. I believe the next 2 weeks they'll play East Ringwood and Rowville as well. So they're still looking to prove that they are the real deal, and they're not just picking up wins against the teams that they should be picking up wins against. But also on the other hand, Blackburn, they're looking to prove that they are still that side that we saw throughout last season and in their grand final, because as much as gone on at that club, the fact is they're 2 and 3 at the moment. Obviously, we know their ball movement going forward hasn't been fantastic. They've been lacking a bit in that forward line. Like we said, Toby Wooler will go a long way to helping them out there. So my tip is Blackburn, but I can't see this one being more than 2 goals either way.
You go, Josh.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they lose this, they potentially slip down to 7th, the Blackburn, and they potentially move a game behind Berwick and 5th if they get over the line.
And that would be a big shock.
That would be a massive shock, given they made the grand final last year.
Yeah, no, we really the benchmark team last year in Premier Division. So I've actually tipped Blackburn 2. Blame me on media manager for the record, because I'm 71, but it's absolutely rigged. He's probably rigged it because he knows that I'm probably winning or something.
Yeah.
So our media manager can't listen at the moment, which is good. So, but we move on to the next couple of games. We just get a tip for these ones, fellas. But Berwick taking on Noble Park. I hear Jackson Binns is also in for Berwick this week, so that's a huge in down at Pat Wright Senior Oval. I'm going the Wickers. I think that's what you can call them. I'm going Berwick for this one.
Wickers for me as well, Blake.
Yeah, same for me. They've looked good.
And then up the mountain, we've got South Belgrave taking on Vermont. This one's at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve, or South Belgrave Reserve. This one should be a cracking game, I think. Just 2 sides that are sort of in that middle of the road sort of thing. But a win today could definitely put a statement in for that they're going to be in for Premier Division. And Vermont have come off 2 away wins, of course highlighted by the 45-point win against Bourne 2 weeks ago, and then they had a 5-point win over against Noble Park at Pat Wright Senior Oval. So 3 away games for the Eagles. Can they do it for the 3rd time?
I think they can. I'm still backing in South Belgrave. It is a toss of the coin game, because both sides will want to win this game. It's a crunch contest. It could set up their season as well. South Belgrave looked good last week, Blake. in patches and were competitive.
Probably
But
to about three-quarter time, I thought.
yeah, and then Bourne obviously ran over the top of them. I think the Saints should just get over the line purely because it's out of Belgrave South, Chris.
I agree for that reason exactly. I mean, there's only one win separating the sides, and I think it's only about 8% points at that.
With your ball movement, if you go slow and let them set up, that's what they like to do, and then they go the other way on you. So, as I said, we've still got a few out as well. We're going to have to play them again. It's never too certain. Only round 5 or 6, so it'll be a good test for our boys, and we'll have a good crack and see how we go.
And you mentioned that you've got a few out going into this one today. Can you talk to us kind of about that next man up mentality and what you're looking to get out of these guys that are coming into the side and looking to take their opportunity? Yeah,
so I think last year after our elimination final, lost one senior player. It was Matt Smith to Scoresby. So then we were able to recruit a few on top of that. So reality is that the depth grew, hence why the reserves are playing really well. I think we're playing a 31st player today already after 4 games. So we've had a few injuries every week and a couple of suspended.
Nick Hallow back to the club as well after 2 premierships with Mitcham, a year over in Western Australia. How big is that to get him back to the Basin after such success down at Walker Park?
Yeah, it's huge. Like, he's obviously a great player. He loved his time at the Basin. I'm not sure why he left in the end to go to Mitcham, and then he had some success. So we were pretty close to getting him back last year. It was more of a work issue than a football thing last year. But he's got a lot of good mates down at the Basin. He loves the culture down here, and he just wants to see us win and go well. And what's happened kind of 2 or 3 years ago, he wasn't happy with that, even though he was playing for Mitcham, and he really wants to fix that up. So he's really motivated to have a good year. And obviously he had an upset the last 3 weeks, but he's pretty much done a mini pre-season the last 3 weeks, so he's ready to go today. And we'll see how it goes.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing him in action. And some of the younger players as well, as you mentioned, Harry Upton, but also guys like Ryan Smith, Liam Armstrong. How much have they developed since you've taken over as the head coach?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just consistency. So when I kind of took over halfway through 2024, it was all about just, this is how we're going to play, and we're going to teach you guys to play this way the whole time. So what you're kind of seeing now is a full season last year and then another pre-season this year. And those guys, going from 2021 to 23, 24 is a big difference. Yeah. It does make a big difference just in their general maturity as footballers and as people. So, look, they've been great. We, as I said, kind of in previous chats, we knew that we had some good cattle there. We just needed to spend time, training them, coaching them, and that's kind of what's happening at the moment. We'll see how they go up against a really good side today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and coming against it, do you feel like what are you expecting from this Donvale team? That's been it's been the hot topic, but what are you expecting from them today?
They score heavily. I mean, you just have to look at their scores. And they score quickly. They play a certain way. They like to just come back through the corridor and really accelerate their ball movement through there. So I don't expect anything different, to be honest. We've just got to try and prevent that as best we can. And, so we put a plan in place with that. It's just, as I said before, whether we can actually nail that and execute that. That'll be the difference today. It's a little bit windy. I don't think it's too bad. It's probably not going to affect the game too much, to be honest. They're a tough opposition. They've been 4 grand finals in a row, so they seem to be super motivated after what happened last year, which you should be. So, again, great challenge, and we'll see how we go.
Well, thank you very much, Joel Perry, for coming on for EFNL Saturday on the Game Day program today. Coming against the Donvale side today. I'm sure you, I know you did it as a player, but I'm sure you can do it today as a coach and get that legend status up a bit more. But thanks for coming on board.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate it. Cheers.
No worries.
Thanks, Joel.
Joel Perry, there, the senior coach of the Basin Footy Club, doing some great things as well. 3-1 to start the year. And, the Basins just, they keep growing. After that final loss, they lost by under a kick. I still had some good aspirations on where they're going to go.
Well, I think a lot of us had them in that top 4 sides, with obviously Donvale, Upper Ferntree Gully and Knox. And for me, they've somewhat surpassed expectation. Obviously had that bump in the road against Sylvan, but still knocked up Upper Gully with their best side on the Parker in round 1. And I think there's a lot of potential and such good talent as well. And that can expose the Donvale side in the midfield too, because it's a really, really strong midfield with Nick Hallow, Mason Byrne as well rolling through there, of course, haven't settled into the Division 3 level. Tom Edwards coming back in and their 2 rucks. I think there's a lot to like about the Bears for season 2026 and today's contest as well.
Yes. So quickly, we'll just go back. We just missed it because we had the interview. But Bourne, South Croydon boys, gone back to Premier. Can we see the Dogs winning their first game this year? Yes or no?
No.
Nah, I can't.
No. Yeah, okay, that was very...
God, that was quite controlled, wasn't it?
Very comprehensive.
But I think this is the main one to touch on.
Oh, yeah.
East Ringwood taking on Roval. Now, again, I'm not getting ahead of myself, but this could be the grand final preview. I don't know about how you guys feel about this one. I know it is in May, and I know the grand final's played in September, but how do we see this one playing out? I've gone Roval just on some of the players, the key ins that are coming into that side, and unfortunately East Ringwood have lost a few as well, so I'm going Roval.
Yeah, I've got the Hawks as well. I think no Delaney, no Jackson Weatherall as well. Obviously only played the 2 or 3 games so far this season, but Delaney's a huge loss, and it means guys like Tristan Tweedy, Zach McGowan, who are talented players, but they're going to need to step up even more with Roval having such a potent forward line. Initially, I would have backed in East Ringwood, but because of those, the inclusions for Roval and the losses for East Ringwood, I think the Hawks get over the line in this game, Chris.
Yeah, I've gone the other way. I've gone East Ringwood. I think, the last time I was going to tip against them in, an undefeated clash of the Titans was last season against Blackburn. Lesson learnt. But, no, I think definitely, look, they're obviously the 2 premier sides of our Premier Division, and if there's one side that's going to be the first to knock off East Ringwood, it is very likely to be Roval. I just think that, in these kinds of games, although the outs that they've had, and although they would have liked to have some more of their stalwarts on the field going into this one, I think East Ringwood just show their class in these ones, especially this early in the season, and I think they still have enough to just get the job done.
Yeah, I think, this game's going to be a cracking game, and our Roval correspondent, Ray Baird, is down there, so I'm sure we'll be hearing them. But we only hear about them if they're winning. We don't really hear when they're...
It's something similar when it comes to our 2 clubs, isn't it, Blake?
I was going to say, you can talk, Blake.
But Ray's worse, I reckon. But no, this game should be a cracking game. So I'm looking forward to that. So if you're around the grounds or if you're at East Ringwood, you can let us know. It'll be good getting a neutral supporter talking about the game. I think we might take a quick break as well. So I think it's going to be a sad time. Chris's Minnesota Timberwolves, unfortunately, the season's out of the season right now.
Oh,
so
it's well and truly done.
You can join me in the Cancun with the Warriors because that's where they are at the moment.
And boys, we're not at basketball.
But I just want to say we'll be on for a quick break, and then after that we'll talk about Divisions 1 and 4. This is the pre-game presented by Eastland.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds even in winter absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet: pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
Hi, Dylan Dow from the Baroni Football Netball Club here. When I need to grab a quick coffee or a bite to eat, I'm popping into Eastland. Eastland's more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been a major partner of the EFNL since 2018. Cheers, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Yes, welcome back to the Eastland Match of the Day down here at Donvale Reserve. It's the Bears and the Magpies. Donvale taking on the Basin. Right here for this clash, the Basin coming in 3-1, while the Vales are coming in undefeated with 4 scores. So 3 of the last 4 games being over 100 points. So we're expecting a shootout sort of game here. My name is Blake Tennant, joined by Chris Gordis and Josh Ward for the pre-game show. And just for listeners, if you really are keen, I am coming now equal first in the tipping. So it was rigged. Our media manager doesn't want it to be published in the record. So I'll just like to say to all of our listeners on that one. So there you go. So we'll start off in Division 1. We'll go through some key games. You would have heard him before, Dylan Dowler from Boronia. Well, he's
Eastland's own.
Yeah, so his Hawks are taking on Montrose today down at Montrose of Recreation Reserve. It's a massive day down there at Montrose, and we're expecting a really good clash between two sides that should be there come finals time. And one side isn't playing their best footy. You can say about the other side too, because wins against Bayswater, Beaconsfield, Nord, and Murrabbuck sides that will be a bit below this year. That's how I just feel like they're not playing their best footy.
Well, that one side that isn't playing their best footy and is 2 and 4, or 2 and 3, I should say. You've put them in the furnace.
I did, yes. Just to pump them up. I feel like they sort of needed it.
Oh, so it's motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like you said in your words, Blake, if Boronia win this game, it's start booking flights for Montrose.
You can. If you want to do it.
What's the rationale behind that, though? We're in round 6 after this one.
You've got the app on your phone here. Click on the ladder bit. Have a look where if Boronia win today. They'll be 3 games clear of Montrose.
3 games, yeah. They'll be at least. And
a lot of footy to play, though, Blake.
Yeah,
I agree you haven't been at your best. I agree you'll be, a bit behind it, but a lot of footy to play.
But you look at their next couple of weeks, and it's tough against North Ringwood and Mitcham. But this is an opportunity for Montrose, I must admit.
They do like to getting a scalp, and I feel like I'm probably going to, I can take this hat off here, but I'm actually tipping the Demons for this one. I think this is the game where they're going to come out and do what they do, and that's when they tease a lot of people, including our media team, and I feel like this is the game at home on a big occasion down there at Montrose against Boronia. Do you guys agree with me, or are you just going to disagree? I know Josh will be disagreeing, but Chris, where do you sit?
Cheers, a lot of the lies on me now, isn't there?
Josh, Montrose.
I love Montrose.
Give me Boronia. Give me Boronia. I've tipped Boronia.
I love the ground. I think with Montrose, though, the top end talent is really good, and they're going to need to play
Big
out
O comes back in this week too.
And that is a big inclusion, literally and figuratively. And that's a fascinating ruck battle. But I just think on paper, Boronia should win because they've got some good players coming in. Mason Storr playing his first game with Boronia at the senior level since 2019. And you've got a guy like Jordan Church back into the lineup, as well as Luke Hannon, their vice captain and assistant coach. I think they should get over the line. But Montrose did defeat them at Montrose last year. What was, I think, a shootout I remember seeing.
Yeah, I think it was 16 goals in a quarter.
Yeah, so I think they're certainly capable. It's almost a must-win, though, I must admit. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if the final score pops up and it is a Montrose victory. But
it would be a big day because they've got a big day down there.
Yes.
I'm worried about the ending of it. So
I think at the same time, though, it takes a bit of time with, obviously Oscar McInerney coming in. It would take a bit of time to get that midfield set up to gel, but speaking of that midfield, I think Arundel against Collier Dawkins will be a massive one in that setup. I'd love to see the Premier Data stats come, early or midweek next week.
Speaking of, you do a bit of work down at Premier Data, I do hear.
Yeah. Well, we got your commentary of Carl Stainthorpe's hanger up there, didn't we, Blake?
I wonder why.
Bit of an inside job there, but yeah, I mean, two guys that looking through the stats have just been absolutely racking up the footy and racking up the touches. So that'll be a really interesting one. But yeah, like I said, I've gone Baronia.
And I'll just get a couple of tips for these sort of games. I feel like it will sort of go the way we feel, but Beaconsfield taking on Bayswater. I think Beaconsfield should win, and then Mitcham taking on Mirrabah at Mitcham. Bit of a rivalry, of course, those two sides. If you think about it, they met in a 2022 prelim final, and I don't think they really like each other, those two sides. So a bit of a rivalry between Mitcham and Mirrabah, I would say. But I'm going the Tigers for this one.
Yeah, Tigers and the Eagles as well. One great thing to see for Mitcham, Jesse Cherry back into the lineup.
Oh, yes. Played a couple of reserves games, and I sort of think, do they pull the trigger now? And they've done that. So good to see him out there. First game back since the 2024 grand final against Park Orchards, and best on ground in 2023. So there you go. North Ringwood Nord, I think the Saints.
Saints comfortably.
And then I want to touch on this game. Park Orchards taking on Montana South down at Donvale Reserve for this game. I think this game is going to be a very good game. I can see it being a shootout, but I can also see it potentially blowing out too. I just see it's at Donvale, and we all know how good Park Orchards use that ground down there at Donvale Reserve. But I feel like if this is a shootout, I actually think the Devils can actually do this because they've been in a few shootouts along the way. But I think if it's going to be Park Orchards, it could potentially blow out. Because they blow out the Tigers last week and scoring 148 points. So I think it's going to be it's a fascinating battle down there.
It is a fascinating battle, and two sides that do love to score. It's good conditions out there as well, so I'm sure that'll give Warren South a bit of a lift. But just looking at their side, still no. There's still no. I'm trying to think. Liam Hewitt, laid out is Tom Evans as well. Who's had a decent start to the season with Warren South, his first in the green and white. I think Park Orchard should get over the line. Started to get back to their best last weekend, Chris.
Yeah, I've got Park Orchard as well. I do think it's a bit of a danger game for them. We've seen what Montana South can do, and they've almost proved us wrong on multiple occasions throughout this season already with how good of a start they've had. So I think it is a danger game for Park Orchards, but if they're going to again cement themselves as one of the teams to be reckoned with in this division, and they want to be there at the point end of the season and not just be there but win as well, you take 4 points from this one. You have to.
Yeah. So there you go, Division 1 all done and dusted. Now I'm going to talk about this game because it's a big day for this famous club, and that's the Ringwood Footy Club. It's a massive day down at Jubilee Park. Good luck getting a parking spot, that's all I have to say. But it's probably their biggest day for the whole year, I would say. They're celebrating 3 massive milestones for this day. I'll start off with the 1976 Premiership reunion. Of course, they're celebrating that. They're also celebrating past players and officials day down there at Ringwood at Jubilee Park. And of course, there's 2 massive accomplishments that we've got to mention. And that's Steve Brown playing his 200th senior game, been through everything at Ringwood, losing unfortunately those 3 grand finals of down there at Ringwood. He's been everywhere for Ringwood, but I want to talk about this guy. This guy is an absolute super coach. You can just call him that. Coaching game number 130, who passes Rod Allison as the most games coached by the Ringwood man, and that man is Brett Rowe. He's a great guy, great coach, and great communicator, and he definitely knows how to win a big game or two. They're playing Eastland. I think the Redbacks can win this game for this on this big occasion.
I'd be surprised if they lost this because it is such a massive occasion. And touching on Roy, he's done such a magnificent job as coach. I think since 2017 he's been Ringwood's head coach and guided them obviously to those 3 consecutive grand finals where they fell short in all 3, and still with a young list has done pretty well to put them in a good position. I think against an East Burwood side that struggled to score offensively. Ringwood do struggle a little bit, but I think they're just a bit more well set up. I think they get over the line in this game. I'd be surprised if they didn't, given the occasion today, Chris.
Yeah, exactly right. And, they have been inconsistent at times, but obviously a lot of turnover in the off-season, quite a young list as it stands, so we can't come to expect that. But on the sense of occasion, I agree. I've tipped the Redbacks. I'd love to see this one be the win that gets them going and starts to put them into, some more consistent form where they can start to trouble some more of these sides above them.
Tom Jackson backs as well.
Massive.
So, yeah.
And did you watch Insight the other day, did you?
I did.
Yes.
I was all caught up.
Ringwood Furnace.
I think that's a fair call.
I agree.
I'd been calling it the week prior, but I think that'll lift them up as well, no doubt.
So if they win, are they out? Is it a one and done, or do they still have a bit more to prove, Blake?
Oh, they've still got a bit to prove for me.
Okay.
Ringwood.
I don't mind that. I don't hate that.
They've had a few good inclusions, so I like to see how that one goes. So interesting to find that one. Look, having a look at this division, there's sort of some good games here. I'll just get a tip for this one. We all know where this person's going to go for this one. I'm not going to speak on this game. Heathbond, Surrey Park. Chris?
Up the park. Let's go Surrey Park.
I've turned someone.
Tipping the Panthers.
Surrey Park for me, just. Scores big Templestowe. Templestowe had a defeat that they probably shouldn't have had, I think, but I think they bounced back against the wingless Magpies.
Yeah, I think. Losing Yu Ashwin, and we wish him a speedy recovery as well after he broke his leg. I believe against Lilydale. And Carl Giovanini comes back in. I think they get over the line.
Two big games as well. Two sides have been playing some tremendous football, and that is Mulgrave taking on Lilydale at the LSO. If you would have told me at Mulgrave, I think Mulgrave win this one comfortably, but now it's at the LSO. I might have to change it a little bit here. I'm going the Lions just because it's at the LSO.
Yeah, I agree. I would not be shocked in any sense of the word if Lilydale end up winning this one, to be honest, because they've blown us all out of the water with what they've been able to do so far. But we know about Mulgrave, how much firepower they have, the high possession game plan that they have. So it's the LSO. That's the variable, that's the one you need to look out for, the great equaliser. So I have tipped Mulgrave, but I really don't expect this to be one of those 60 to 75 point droppings that we've seen them put up throughout the season.
No, I agree. I think Mulgrave get over the line. They possess the ball really well, and so much talent through that midfield area. I think that gets them over the line, Blake.
Yeah, so we go on that one, and it's a battle of the Blues.
Yes.
Today, Croydon taking on the Waverley Blues. So that's played at Mount Waverley Reserve. This one's a hard one to tip, isn't it?
It
Just
is.
on how these two sides have been going. Croydon have been playing tremendous football, while Waverley Blues, they're just a bit hot and cold, I think. And it's going to be an interesting one for this one, I feel.
They'll lift it, given it is at Mount Waverley Reserve. Obviously, we'll want a response out there after their last home game was a drubbing at the hands of Mulgrave. I've tipped the Blues of Waverley, but I won't be surprised again if Croydon get over the line. A tremendous performance and tremendous last quarter as well against Ringwood. I think it was 7 goals they wound up kicking. So that should hold them in good stead, but I've backed the Blues of Waverley purely on talent.
I've gone Waverley Blues as well. Very, very tight one, though. Not easy to tip by any regard, but I just think the thing that'll get the Waverley Blues over the line is they've had these games against the Surrey Parks and those kinds of sides in the competition that they can take a lot from and learn a lot from. Obviously, they've lost that game. I think the other one was Mulgrave. They lost by quite a few goals, but I think in those games, not only, obviously you don't get the points, but I think you learn a lot about how far off these sides you are, but also how you can start to bridge that gap and what areas you need to improve. So I think that kind of experience in those games, as opposed to Croydon, who, dare I say, have probably played the teams that are more likely to be around them in the ladder come the end of the season, I think the Waverley Blues will get over the line in this one, but just.
Yeah, I'm going with the Waverley Blues, that one as well. So I think we covered off Division 2.
Yes.
We might just go through just tips quickly. I think we've only got not much time left.
Let's get through 'em.
Sylvan v Whitehorse. I'm going Sylvan only because it's at Sylvan.
Yep.
Agreed.
Well, even though Whitehorse do play on a small ground as well, it's not like going out to Sylvan.
Yeah. We will leave this tip for when the call team comes on between Donvale and the Basin. Oakley District by Knox. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm being too disrespectful here, but what do you think the margin will be between Knox and Oakley District today?
It could be big. Knox are starting to play some of their best footy, but I've got them winning this game quite comfortably too.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit on the fence and say Knox as well. I don't want to answer that
So no one answered my question.
No, I don't want to stick my neck out that much.
Okay. Coldstream taking on Ferntree Gully. The Gully do get the return of Jaden Stevenson today, which is an incredible boost for Ferntree Gully today. But they're playing against Coldstream, and it's an interesting one, considering it's at Coldstream, bigger ground than what it is played down there at Wally Tree. But I am going for Ferntree Gully just because of Stevenson.
Purely because of the home ground factor, and Stevenson will play a key role and make it potentially a close game. I still think Coldstream get over the line. It's always a tough ask.
I say Oregon Stevenson has about 35 touches, and I reckon Coldstream still win. I mean, as big of an inclusion as he is, he was there the whole of last season, and they were still quite lacklustre at times, so I've still gone Coldstream.
Alrighty, Division 4 now. Forest still have the bye. Sorry, I should have said who's got the bye in 3rd Division, just in case.
I believe it's Upper Gully.
Someone that's around the grounds, so. Upper Gully do have the bye. Oops, should have said that. Just in case an Upper Gully person may have been heading to Kings Park today. But,
go home.
So we go to Forest Hill. They have the bye this week, so unfortunately Zebraland is still recovering from that big heroic day for James O'Sullivan 450th game.
Yes.
So they'll be on the biggest hangover watch ever because they haven't played in a week. Because there'll be a lot of drinks I've consumed, I reckon, that one. But we now move back to Division 4. So Warrandyte taking on Ball and Templestowe.
This is a good game.
This might be the match of the round in 4th Division, I would say. So I'm going Warrandyte just because it's at home.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a rivalry, I think, because they're pretty much next to each other, probably about 20-odd minutes, I would say, from each other. But a few players have gone there and, played there, so I'm going Warrandyte.
I've backed in the Bull Ants because they've had a tougher fixture, I must admit. They've gone up against the top two sides, Fair Park and Chertside Park. Maybe not on the ladder, but I think in Jared's Power rankings and most people's rankings as well, they're the top two, Fair Park and Chertside. I've gone with the Bull Ants because they've impressed me a bit more as well, Chris.
I have gone with Warrandyte. I still think they have enough in that side to get up for the big game today, and I think they'll be looking forward to it as well. Obviously, they've had some of those massive wins against, the opposition that, we'll see down the bottom end of the ladder. So I think they'll be up for the challenge today, and they'll still get that win.
Doncaster playing Chertside Park today for the Sporting Globe Cup.
Yes.
Just saw that on the socials the other day.
I don't mind that. I like
that's a great
that.
one.
I
like that one. It was there last night, so surely I get a little bit of recognition there going to the Sporting Globe. It's a great place.
Yeah.
But the Panthers for me.
Panthers for me, comfortably.
Yep, Panthers.
Love you, Panthers, Josh. Kilsyth v Croydon North. I'm going Kilsyth for this one.
I am going Kilsyth too. I think it will be close though. Croydon North have shown signs.
Yeah, and they've not played at home this year as well, Croydon North Emlock. I've gone the Cougars though. Too much top-end talent.
And Fair Park taking on another warning. I think Fair Park.
What's the margin?
What's the margin? Am I allowed to say?
Yeah, go. I'll go. I'll set it if you want.
Okay, I'm going to go 120 points.
I'm going 131.
I'm going 150.
Oh, no, Josh.
So now you say it when we all say it, Josh.
Oh,
we were definitely Oakley District game.
So you went 120? You went 150? I went 130. All right. So we'll set the line at 135.5. Gamble responsibly. No, don't gamble on the NFL.
Okay, very good. Okay.
No, before we go, Blakey.
Yes.
Big day yesterday for you. Happy birthday, big man.
Thank you very much. Yep. It's a good day.
Yeah, happy birthday, Sir Lord Blake Tennant.
Yes, the big man himself. So what's on the schedule? I'm sure we'll get into it more after the call today.
After the game, you'll hear about it.
Yeah,
I was going to
we'll leave it for then.
It sounded like you were going to the home of football, or the home of football according to you.
Yeah, but looking forward to it. So just quickly, we'll.
Well, we're trying to find our guy Lee Green.
But we might take a quick break shortly, but we can just talk about other things as well.
In fact, we might be taking a quick break, very shortly. But
we are. But we'll just talk about this game as well. So Donvale and the Basin coming in for today's game.
Margin, go quick.
Margin,
quick.
I'm going to say it in the game day
Quick.
thing. I'm going to go Basin by 30 points.
The Basin?
Sorry, Donvale.
Oh, Donvale by 40.
Donvale by 25.
Okay, there we go.
Alright, so this has been the pre-game presented by Eastland. Thanks to Josh and Chris for coming on board today. We've assembled the call team, and after that, you'll hear the first bounce of this Eastland Division 3 match of the round. Thank you.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her two young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. Let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hi, I'm Ben Desson from Montrose Football Netball Club, and when I need a new kit for a night out, I head over to Eastland. But Eastland is more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been major partners of the Eastern Football Netball League since 2018. Thanks, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Eastland match of the round today for the Division 3 game today between the Basin and the Donvale Magpies, of course. Donvale coming into today's game having scored 100 points 3 out of their 4 games they've played today, while the Basin come in today 3-1 record and really challenging a lot of the teams today. On the call team today, my name's Blake Tennant and I'll be joined here by my co-commentator. He's been down at Tasmania calling the big games, of course. Commentator Matthew Wade's game as well, and I'm great to have him back, and I'm sure everyone in the EFNL media team is great to have this man back, and that man is Ben Warren-Smith. Welcome back to EFNL Game Day.
It's great to be back, Blake, and thanks for having me, and good afternoon to everybody out there in EFNL land. This is the best competition without doubt in the country, and it's been a great experience commentating the footy down in Tassie, but it's always great to come back, and you'll be seeing a lot more of me as the year unfolds. But really looking forward to this game today. I've been out at Donvale for called the footy here for many years, and the ground looks in perfect condition. It looks magnificent. There is quite a breeze blowing straight down the ground, so away from the club room. So the opposite end to the Springvale Road end of the ground, it's pushing right down the guts to the right forward pocket. So we should see a bit of action down that end of the ground today. I remember being out at this game when Brendan Vivola played one of those cameo games years ago.
He's playing today too.
And and Leo remember this. He marked the ball in the goal square, kicked a goal, then he grabbed a Jim Beam can from someone behind the goals and sculled it.
Absolutely, yeah. And it was 2014, I believe, if I recall.
Yeah, right. 12 yeah, it was a long time ago. I was telling Paul Yacone, our stats man, that he was probably still in primary school when it happened.
I have searched over and over, though, for that footage of us, the footage we had, and I couldn't find it. But over and over, I keep getting this, because they were filming it on their phones behind the goals as well. And so we got the close-ups from them.
Great. But it's great to be out here today. Donvale, you talked about them kicking over 100 points in their games. Like sometimes it's 200. Like their average, and I'm sure Ratch has probably got the stat on that. But I'm expecting to see a big score again from them today.
Well, speaking of, you got him in good line there. We've got our special comments here today. Wayne Brasher, or should I say Sir Wayne Brasher, welcome aboard to EFNL Game Day.
Thank you for those kind words, Blake. And yes, great to be part of the team again today. Interesting clash, and yes, but with BWS, you're right, they're probably averaging around 150, 160 points a game, Donvale, which is nearly 100 points more than the average of most other sides in this competition. They're going to be hard to stop. I think the key to towards game is I think Basin have got to win the toss and kick downhill and try and exploit them a little bit early on.
Jared Bayland as well in the special comments. Good to see you, Jared. Welcome back to EFNL Game Day.
Thank you very much, Blake. Great to be here out at Donvale. Brilliant position here on the hill with the van. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the Basin has to offer today, because they know how difficult this task is going to be. They made it to the finals last season, dropped out in that elimination final. Donvale went a few steps further, and I'm really keen to see with this matchup, which could be a 1-2 matchup, could be a 1-3 matchup come the end of the season. These teams will feel each other out for that pointy end.
And Paul Lacody in the Stats Centre, keeping us updated with all stats for today's game. Welcome back to EFNL Game Day.
Yeah, thanks, Blake. Thanks, gents. Yeah, it should be an interesting contest today. Obviously, Donvale have been high flying and kicking big scores, but it'll be interesting to see how the Basin respond to that. It should be an interesting contest. Yes, it should be really exciting. We'll get a touch on our boundary reporters shortly, because the bounce is about to start. It looks like Donvale will be kicking to where we're looking at the goals at the end.
Springvale Road.
There you go. And then the Basin will be kicking to the, what do you call that end, BWS?
The opposite to Springvale Road.
I think it's actually it's Doncaster Road end.
Okay.
Springvale's that way.
Of course it is. See, I've moved away. I've lost the plot.
All right, the Eastland match of the round. It's Donvale taking on the Basin. The two rucks going out at Butler and McCormack. Butler gets a hit out to Nick Halo coming into the side today, and it looks like he might get the first free kick for this game. He does. Great inclusion into this Basin lineup for this year, coming across from Mitcham, winning those two premierships. And he kicks it around. First to try pick that one up will be Lambert. Lambert gets it on the hand pass on the bench wing. And a mark taken. Looks like it's going to Lavender. Lavender goes for a short kick. What's just going to race around? First bit there is Matt Liardi playing game number 200 today, boys, as well. Of course, two-time premiership player here at Donvale, winning the flags in 17 and 23. So congratulations to him on his big milestone game. Good to see this big boy in the ruck, Billy McCormack, coming back into the team. So Lavender gets it inside, forward 50 for the Bears. And this one's going to roll out of bounds, out on the full. And it'll be a Donvale kick. And for the first time today, BWS.
So McNamara has it. So deep in the back line, but Donvale's a risky kick across the face, and it's been chopped off nicely down there. Basin have a mark. There's a number 35 out there. Mitchell Sertzakos.
Yes.
So had him down as 29, but we'll change him to 35. 39, sorry.
That's one of the kicks that you've got to be very careful of.
Thompson, sorry.
Yeah.
Is that Michael Thompson?
Yes, Michael Thompson it is.
Sorry, my bad.
No, it was my bad. I said it was 35. So Thompson comes in. A shaky start by me, but an even better one by the Basin, but just push it to the left-hand side. And through for a minor score. That's the first score on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. The Basin, bit of all the run early. They are kicking with what we're going to call a pretty hefty breeze. Probably a perfect opportunity to go down boundary side for the first time this afternoon. And down there we have Chris Curtis and Josh Ward. Good afternoon to you guys.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It's a great day to be down here. And you are right, BWS, probably 3 to 4 goals. This breeze is favouring the Basin. So I've got Donvale in this game as they kick that one out on the full.
Yes, it is. Not a great start from Donvale. A few errors.
The Basin really pushing high up the ground, just trying to cut off Donvale's options, making sure that they can't get through the corridor, Paul.
Yeah, the Basin have already got 3 inside 50s to start this game.
This is a really, really funny ground because actually playing the flanks on both sides, there's actually no advantage on this particular ground because it actually drags, it just pulls the game and it's very stop-start.
So Lavender, he's just outside the 50, tries to go for the journey and that's going to go drifting to the right. That's through for the Basin's second point of the day, so moves to score on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. The Basin 2, Donvale yet to score. We're approaching the 3-minute mark in this first quarter. Beautiful conditions. Autumn sunshine as well. Usually the cricket's on behind us today, but it's not. They're not playing. They must be playing away. So beautiful conditions. I would love to be
Cricket?
playing. Yeah, they play cricket behind us.
Yep.
Yep.
And soccer.
Yep. So
Have they managed to get that behind the safety fence? It went down to the neighbours.
There you go.
Snuck through a little sneaky hole, I reckon, there, Lee, as Donvale just trying to get it out of that defensive zone, really. This is a better pass. Short passes on. McNamara will go backwards again. So they're back to where they started. Here's Ablett. Short little chip around. Going to use the grandstand side. Making some space there was Cameron, screaming for it. Liardi, that's ignored. Goes back again, Ablett. Goes for the switch across. Cameron takes the mark. So they're still deep in the back pocket here, Donvale. Under a little bit of pressure. Fisher received the handball. They've got at that defensive 50. Kick was half smothered, was it? Oh, no, it was just a shank in the wind. So the Basin now a chance. Kick up towards centre half forward. It was a good one too. They'll use a good use of handballs here as McDonald goes on the right boot. Just a short pass and it had to be perfect and it was. And the mark has been strongly taken there by Mason Byrne, nephew of Wayne Brasher. Is that correct, Brash?
There you go. You've got a lot of nephews.
All over the place.
Yeah.
I know. They just spring from the woodwork, don't they? Well, Mason Byrne is a former best and fairest in the competition for the under-19s.
A Fair Park, right?
Fair Park.
There you go.
So you can see he started his run-up at the centre circle here, so we'll see how powerful an impact this breeze has. Comes in now, so he'll still kick from inside the centre square, went after it, and he shanked it right off the side of the boot, and it still travelled a fair way, but out of bounds on the full. No change to the scores on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We've gone 5 minutes in this first term. The Basin are 2 behinds. Donvale yet to score.
I didn't teach him to kick, though.
Really starting to be concerned a little bit about Basin not taking their opportunities. Donvale's going to put the pedal to the metal at some point. We know what quality side they are. Basin really want these early opportunities to go their way, but they've done it. They've at least done well to hold Donvale in the defensive lines.
They want to put some scoreboard pressure on them, don't they?
Well, they're forcing Basin to try and score from the dead pocket.
So Cameron does the kicking duties and finds Billy McCormack.
That's the mark that they want, just to sort of like advance the ball up the ground a little bit more.
So McCormack coming into the side this year. He's having a massive presence for Donvale, getting in 3 of the 4 games this year in the best. So he knows how to win his own footy. And this one's going to be a ball up. Great to see the sponsors on the wing today for the Eastland match of the round. 2 rucks going out at Butler and McCormack. And Rouser, what a play he's been for this footy club. First to get in Musket would be Edwards.
Oh.
And it's a strong tackle, and it's going to be a high tackle. And it's going to go to the Basin. Playing on immediately here to the Basin. They get it to the centre of the oval inside the forward 50. Big Mark couldn't go there. Donvale first to pick this one up. It was by player. And they're trying to slow things down. They go on the outer side wing. First to get there will be Jordovic. This is Josh, usually wearing his brother's number today, because Caleb playing for Baldwin. And a kick to Mitch Brower coming as well to the team as well. Premiership player in 2023. So Brower sort of get a good look at this one. Who's going to fly? First to try to pick it up will be Mariner.
The one thing that the Basin are doing very well is they've been able to pin Donvale in their back 50 for the majority of the quarter so far.
They took the corridor away from them as well and forced Donvale to go for that more expansive kick.
Umpire Brad Pulley throws it up. McCormack went after it, got knocked down. A good, strong tackle by Swindle.
He did say take it easy on him today.
Who?
Brad.
Brad.
Yep. He came in the box before.
He's second only to Dean O'Neill for getting a radio game.
McCormack went up unattended that time. Nicely done there by Billy, but effectively came out to Edwards, who got the handball away to Siskakos up towards the wing position, going up in power. Couldn't take it on the second bite at the fall. The ball, Cameron was there. He went to ground as well. Strong tackle over the top by Michael Thompson. And we will have a ball up just inside the paint. True centre wing position here at Donvale Reserve. If you're in the area, get down. Looking for a good game of footy. Of course, Donvale undefeated, and the fans are loving it too, as Byrne on the left boot goes inside forward 50 now. A bouncing one. It was a difficult bounce there. Overrunning the ball there was Bradley. Donvale there to mop up the piece is good. Strong smother by Michael Thompson, who's been in and around it early in the piece, and the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Former Murubak Mustang, Michael Thompson. So this one's going to be a boundary throw-in on the scoreboard section down here at Donvale Reserve. Beautiful conditions for footy. Can't speak enough about how good the conditions are. Tackle was laid, and it's going to be a ball up. Donvale one holding the ball, and it is going to be holding the ball. So it's going to go to Adam Cameron. He's been a solid contributor for this club, playing 105 games for Donvale. It's a short kick into the square. And they're going to go back to Cameron. It's sort of like kick to kick at the G at the moment. But it's at Donvale Reserve. And a short kick, and it's going to go to Zarlak. And they're just slowing things down, Donvale. We always see their numbers lately, and hasn't been a high-scoring affair. Goes to McCormack. Does jump and gets that one. Of course, coming from Central Districts in the Sample this year, back to Donvale.
Beautiful kick.
And he finds his teammate. It's going to go to Fisher. What a start he's having to the year. And he tries to go to his teammate and does so. Great mark taken.
They were really patient just then, Donvale. They worked it out. They picked the right target.
So it goes back, snaps around the corner from Murphy, and I think he's got it. He has. Sorry, Jared. And Murphy kicks his first, and Donvale's first of the game. That moves the score to 1 straight 6 to the Basin, 2 behinds.
Well, Jared, you know, look, when you look at what's happened so far, Donvale's first inside 50 for the contest. They score a goal. The majority of the play's been in the Basin's forward 50. They've hit 2 points. They need to get a bit more value for their money here, the Basin. Otherwise, they can't afford to be letting, Donvale just take that ball into their forward 50 very quickly.
It's been a really mature quarter by Donvale. They've been challenged, and they responded with a lot of patience, and that ended up in a goal.
It's a smart handball off by Kent to the favourable side of Murphy, and they've got the clearance here as a handball from Heaney came out. They're going to switch it out wide. The mark's been taken by Zarlak. This time of the Mihal variety. Is that how we say his first name?
Yeah.
Have I got that right? Yeah. Came over the top there, Gribble. Chopped it off here for the Bears, up towards the half-forward line. Bouncing football, running through nicely there was West. Couldn't quite trap it in, and underneath it there was Zarlak. Got the handball away, and now Donvale a chance to kick it up in towards the middle of the ground. A couple of Bears stand strong, and the big man, Ethan Power, takes a timely mark. But just inside the centre square here, he'll take off. A fair bit of purchase on the ball. There was no real intended target that time. Just sort of a kick in hope, and the mark's been taken by Sinisic, who goes in towards the middle. Brower dropped what he should have taken, but had a little bit of time and some space. They'll use the far side of Donvale Reserve here. The Maggies, short passes on. Seem to be a little bit in front at the moment, do Donvale. Kick goes up towards the big man McCormack direction, bounced over the top of his head, chiming in there. McDonald just got boot to ball in the nick of time, and up and under kick was taken by Varthakos. Got it away, and now Donvale go inside forward 50. The kick out in front, and Murphy, well, when you play in front the big man, it just got chipped up into the space, and he took an easy one on the chest.
Go on, Jared.
A couple of the bigger bodies going hard for Donvale. Varthakos was one there. They're just winning a couple of those contests as well, and even when they're not in the slow play, they're able to force it forward.
Yeah, what they're trying to do, Donvale, they're trying to push the Basin on both sides of the ground to try and stretch them.
Murphy's already kicked the first one, and it'll take his very best into the breeze. It's a beautiful looking kick off the boot. It's just stayed alive, and a kick going goalward. That might have gone through. It's gone across the face. A fair bit of celebration going on, if you do not mind. but to no avail. Harrison Giles thought that one had gone through, but minor score is the result. Fair old celebration. That's as good a celebration for a point as you'll see, Blake. 1-1-7 to 2 behind.
It's the most sincere appeal I've ever seen.
Tobin Brothers point of the day.
What will it be if they kick it up?
Paul, as play resumes. They're kicking for a short inboard kick. Mark taken by Burrows. Back to Halo. Halo kicks it on the interchange sort of bench here. Trying to pick this one up will be Connor Edwards. Gets the hand pass to Upton. He's on a very good year for the Basin. Kicking 6 goals a couple of weeks ago. Rouser. And here come. This is better ball movement by Donvale. They get inside the outer side 50. Trying to pick this one up will be Brower. He's got McDonald, and McDonald gets in with a big tackle. And the Basin slowing things down with Lavender. And that's on a great kick, and that's going to go rolling out for a boundary throw-in. Or is it the last touch rule? I'm not sure.
Yeah, well done to McDonald there. That kick by Rouser was perfectly played, or just about perfectly placed for Brower, but McDonald evened the contest. Won the contest.
So the umpire will throw this one in. McCormack, geez, he's going to have a big Premier Data stats here with a few ruck taps. Halo involved, gets this one again on the centre of the ground here at Donvale Reserve, looking for Thompson, but gets outmarked. And they're going to slow things down to Donvale, doing it really nicely off the back line. And they go to Brower. Brower plays on. Does a little bit of the candy shop. It's open right now. And tries to go outside to Heaney. Heaney slows things down on the bench side wing. Trying to get this run up would be Giles. He does so. He's been a very good servant to the Donvale Footy Club, and that's going to roll out for a boundary throw-in.
You can see what they're trying to do here, Donvale. They're just starting very, very slowly to start. They're starting to run the ball, and they're starting to get their handball links and chains together. And it just looks like the Basin are really struggling to keep up with them.
Thompson had a big flick over the back. Fisher ran after it. We've heard a whistle. It's going to be a free kick going to Fisher. So just across the half-back line here for Donvale, a beautiful weighted kick to Brower, who's had a number of touches in the last few minutes, was happy to shrug off the tackle, had the run of Murphy on the left boot, come a long way out from goal. He's going searching for Mariner, who takes the mark on the chest. Judged the ball beautifully in flight there, Brash.
Yeah, it was a lovely, and it was well played by Mariner too, BWS. He sort of manoeuvred his opponent over the ball and managed to actually take quite a clever mark in the end.
So Mariner, will he go for what's the more common thing these days is a snap around the body, which is exactly what he does now. Does he get enough purchase on it? It's clipped the post on the way through, so another behind on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We've gone halfway through this first term, and Donvale lead it by one straight kick, 1-2-8 to 2 behinds, Blake.
So we might go to Paul Laconey, sorry, just quickly.
Yeah, the inside 50 marks in this quarter are 3-1 in favour of Donvale. Donvale have taken 3 marks from their 5 inside 50s, which is about inside 50, 1.5 inside 50s per mark.
Thanks, Paul. Looking after the stats centre today to Swindell. He goes with a short kick, not a great kick, and it's intercepted. And slow things down, Donvale trying to find the perfect mark for this one. Rousers underneath this one, but it's a great mark taken. And that's going to go to Mariner. And a little bit of afters too. This young fella's is getting better and better by the day. He's only played 12 senior games. He looks like an experienced senior footballer, what I'm seeing right now.
Got really good size about him.
Yeah, he's a good build. He's almost Ethan Duncan-like in some ways, Blake.
Yeah, I didn't ask that question pre-game. And this might be the replacement, Brash.
Well, it's always good to have a foil.
Yep. So Mariner can kick Donvale's second, and it's hit the post.
And boy, did it hit it.
And that moves us on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard of 139 Donvale to the Basin. 2 behinds. We've gone 16 and a half minutes into this first quarter.
Yeah, the marks inside 50 stats going to be concerning throughout the day.
There's another one. Sertzikos was an absolute shocker. James Fisher, he didn't even really have to work too hard for that one. He's taken the mark. He's about 45 metres out. So once again into the breeze, this is going to take his absolute best.
Do we even mark that down as an intercept? It wasn't.
He kicked it straight to him, yeah.
So James Fisher from almost directly in front. Gets underneath it. It's going all the way. You little beauty. Great goal there from James Fisher. That's his first. And Donvale, well, they've been peppering the goals now for about the last 7 minutes or so. So reward for effort there. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, stretching their lead out to a handy 13 points, 2-3-15 to 2 behinds.
I was just going to say, Jared, who would have been the happier coach at the 17-minute mark of the first quarter? Now, you'd have to say the Donvale coach, considering they're kicking against the breeze. They've basically dominated field and possession for the last 10 minutes.
Yep.
It's a bit of a worrying sign here for the Basin.
Yeah, it for sure is. And when it keeps coming in like that with the tall forwards like Murphy and Mariner, the Basin's going to start to struggle. They just need to be able to lock them up at the contest.
I mean, they've also got the luxury of having Nick Murphy playing the ruck as well.
Yeah.
So if he happens to get a free kick or a ball, he's going to be able to boom it into their forward 50.
So Butler and Murphy in the high tackle, and it's going to go to Murphy. Of course, going into the ruck. Sort of that ruck forward sort of roll. Nothing holding there. And a kick off the ground. There's a one-on-one down the goal in the goal square here. Vapkos involved, and he gets. Oh, geez, I thought that was going to be a nasty landing there. It's going to be a boundary throwing on the pocket.
Can't afford to let Donvale score here, I don't think, the Basin.
So it's going to be on the boundary throwing here on the pocket of Donvale Reserve. Donvale's attacking goal square. Mariner in the ruck, but Butler gets it to himself. Tackled immediately by Rouser. Rouser picks it up, tackled by Butler, and
I reckon there was 2 free kicks there for incorrect disposal.
Razor, eh?
We've got the umpire marked up for this one.
Yeah.
You can hear him very clearly.
Very good. Rouser gets this one. Goes to the outside hand pass. Gets it inside the forward 50. Who's going to get there? Kent's involved. But Lavender will try to get this one. He swoops it around. And Jordovic thought he had the mark. Tackled immediately by Basin. And that's going to be holding the ball.
Yeah, it had to be.
So it looks like Serticus will have this one. So Serticus gets it inside on the outer side wing. And the 2 boys down the back, picking it up there would be Connor Edwards. So we're going to have a ball up on the bench side.
Every time the Basin get the ball, they're getting hunted by 2-3 Donvale players at the moment.
Yep.
No clean ball whatsoever.
High throws it up. McCormack, an easy knockdown. He was looking for Rouser, who laid a strong tackle over the top of Armstrong. Unrewarded. A bit of a wrestle. Get off my mate type styles. As a quick restart, we'll spread this one out. McCormack straight down the throat of Rouser. It was almost deja vu as the kick goes up towards centre half forward, but getting underneath it, Swindell takes it. He'll go for the switcheroo here, across the face. It was a risky kick, but it's going to sit up for Burrows, which it eventually does. He needs to get the handball away. He did in the nick of time. Scott goes up towards a half forward line. Went over the top of all players. Donvale had the numbers at the back. Liardi was chasing after it, the veteran. Over the top of him was Upton. Umpire said play on. Ablett's in there as well, trying to lend a hand. Upton's not letting anyone get the ball out. And eventually we will have a ball up just forward of centre for the Bears, who opened up really nicely in the first 5 or 6 minutes, but just couldn't hit the scoreboard. And Donvale seemed to have owned the latter part of this quarter. The handball backwards now goes to Scott. Inside forward 50, he goes over the top there of Halo. Bouncing football. They've got the numbers though, do the Maggies. As a kick goes hugging the boundary line. It curled around beautifully then. It looked like it was going out of bounds on the full. It was intended for Jeffrey and eventually knocked away from him. Right underneath the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's a handy 13-point lead to Donvale, kicking against what our boundary riders today have called a 3 to 4 goal breeze, going the way of the Bears in this first term. And handy little knockout there by Ablett. Eventually the ball goes out towards the wing position. Up and under kick, and good mark taken there by Sertikos. Goes in towards the middle of the ground now. The mark was taken by Boland, who ran into a bit of trouble. Rousers got him, and he had a fresh air shot, and the umpire said it was holding the ball. They're almost going to take the advantage there, but luckily for Rouser, he'll get the ball back in his arms.
Again, Donvale just winning these 50-50s very consistently.
So Rouser, continue play, looking for Vapakos. The spoil is done. They're going for the handball option here, plenty of them. You don't want to give it to the tallest player in Butler. But kicking it off there would be Riley Boland. And a holding free by the looks of things. And it's going to go to the Basin. And it looks like it's going to go to Ned Bradley for this one.
On there was Giles. The umpire said it was okay. Ducking back and around there was Burrows. He did really well of the Mitch variety on the right boot. Kicked it wide, and then we've had a whistle come back. Just seeing what that's all about. Must have gone out of bounds. So we'll have a boundary throw-in. True centre wing position here, right in front of the cricket nets, if you know, Donvale Reserve. The umpire throws it in. Oh, beautifully done there by McCormack, but it was scooped upon by Boland. Got the handball backwards to Butler, who went out wide. And here's Gribble on the right boot. Drives the ball up towards the half-forward line. Underneath it there was Ablett. He's had a fair bit of it and been around it in this first term. Handball away to Fisher, likewise. On the right boot, down towards the wing position. Little bit of holding going on there. And Zalak has the ball. Use the ball. Use the middle. They've got players roaming free here, do the Magpies. The kick goes up towards the half-forward line now. Here's Jake McCormack. He's about 60 from home. Keeps the ball low. Keeps the ball strong. Mariner takes another mark. That's 3 for him inside 50 in this first term. And he'll go back and have a ping for his first goal of the term.
The Donvale structure would just, the Basin structure would just asleep. Then they have to know that Donvale is going to try and switch it up and spread them at every opportunity.
I'm a bit worried the Basin don't have a matchup for this guy here too, Jared.
Yep.
Because he's very mobile and he takes a big grab.
It's a difficult kick because the way the wind's going, the ball will push across the face for a right footer. Comes in now, you've got to keep it low and keep it straight, which he did, but once again it goes across the face. So Mariner letting himself down as far as hitting the scoreboard, but certainly making a presence in the forward line.
They lack height and they lack muscle in the back line.
Actually, both sides are struggling to kick goals. Doesn't matter where they're kicking them from.
13 points the margin.
Zerkas does the kicking, not a great kick. The Donvale faithful let him know about it, and tackle is led by Fisher.
And that's the one thing that Donvale have done. Every time the Basin have made a mistake by hand or foot, they've been punished.
So Butler and McCormack in the ruck. You'll be seeing that all afternoon. And Basin will get this one out with a snap around the corner in the middle of Donvale Reserve. Who's going to try and get this one? First to pick it up will be Zarlak. Zarlak goes for a hand pass on the outer wing. Donvale got a lot of numbers here with Jake McCormack, who will try and get this one out. Good hand pass and tout. Goes to Brower. Brower inside 50, looking for McCormack. Rouser involved here, the champion, and he gets tackled. A Donvale legend, I would say. James Rouser. What a player he's been.
You're sitting next to the Vermont legend.
Yeah, sorry. Just got to, that's all. I was a little bit worried then, but they get it out there to the Basin in Mason Burns. Sorry, there's nephews, of course, of the guy next to me too. And it's going to be tackled. And they're going for a kick, and that will do it. That will be it for quarter time here at Donvale Reserve. And the score is Donvale 2-4-16 to the Basin, 3 behind here at quarter time down here at Donvale Reserve. All single goal kickers at the moment, with Nick Murphy with 1 and James Fisher with 1. That is it for quarter time. We'll be back straight after this for the second quarter action.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. Let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds even in winter absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
And welcome back to Donvale Reserve. It's quarter time out here in the big Division 3 Eastland match of the day. The top of the table, Donvale, who have started off season 2026 in powerful form. Kicked against the breeze in that first term, but still hold a very handy 13-point lead at quarter time. The score is 2-4-16. The Basin are 3 behinds. Over our special comments, men at the moment. Well, the Basin, as we mentioned, that they did start okay, but they just couldn't put that scoreboard pressure on, and all of a sudden, Donvale started to play their game on their terms.
Yeah, it took Donvale about 8 to 10 minutes just to get their mojo and started to stretch the Basin across the ground. Players were running into position, which was opening up the forward 50 for Donvale, and then when they had possession of the ball, Jared, they were able to kick the ball into position. Probably 2 goals, 4-16. Probably should have been 4 goals, 2.
Yeah.
But that being said, they've done enough so far to hold the Basin at bay.
Yeah, definitely. And you made the comment as well that whenever the Basin make a mistake, Donvale have absolutely been able to punish them, and it's made it very hard for the Basin to transition out of their defence. And when it comes back, Donvale have the tall timber in Luke Mariner and Nick Murphy. They've been clunking those marks. They've been getting those opportunities at goal, and I don't think that's going to stop unless the Basin are able to put a little bit more pressure on that speed of ball movement, and also put themselves in the right place in terms of their defensive structure.
The other thing too, Jared, is they basically forced the Basin to play the flanks.
Yep.
Right, which is not suiting the Basin. The Basin are trying and get the ball through the midfield, but they're not being allowed to play through the midfield. The Donvale are trying to own that area and say, no, you're not going to play through there. We're taking ownership of that.
Let's cross down boundary side.
Of the Basin territory.
I think we've got.
Yeah, I think we're struggling a bit there, Chris.
We did see the score. 3 points from kicking shots, and then they went down and scored a couple.
Yeah, we'll pass on that. Unfortunately, our boundary riders, they're quite a distance away from us here from the broadcast position, so unfortunately we couldn't have that chat with them just now. But let's have a quick look at some around the ground scores before this second quarter gets underway. And of course, in Premier Division, it's Berwick leading Noble Park by 5 points. Doncaster East trailing Blackburn down the road by 2 points. A 4-point lead to Rowville over East Ringwood. South Croydon, have a look at this one, 32-8 over Balwyn out at Balwyn Park as well. So there's some updated scores. We'll get you some more updated scores from the other divisions just after this. Let's cross back down boundary side.
Yeah, I was at the Donvale huddle at quarter time. time. I'm hoping that comes through pretty clear as
Perfect,
well. But Daniel Michelangeli is very happy that they're being challenged this week. This is what they've been looking for, and he says this is what they thrive on. They a bit timid with their ball movement from their defensive half, looking to go a bit too slowly, and they're looking to take the game on a little bit more with the Breeze in this second quarter.
Thank you there to Josh Ward. Just quickly, we'll get through some more scores very shortly, but we'll start this game up. As the umpires better throw this ball up, it's Donvale's up by 13 points in the second quarter here. 2-4-16 Donvale, the Basin 3 behinds. There's the two rucks going at it. Butler gets the hit out. This is a good start here. Clearance kick by Halo, intercepted there. That was by Harry Uplet. And a drop mark that should be taken by Heaney. And Heaney just slows things down, doing what Donvale have been doing pretty much. And Jeffrey gets the kick, finds Zalak, plays on immediately, finds his teammate in Tower. They've got plenty of numbers here. Brower can go through, he's got a player and he's open and finds it.
G. Brower's had a good game.
Yeah, he'll be up there in conversation, I reckon, for the sports player of the game today.
Biggest worry there, Jared, there wasn't too many Basin players within 3-4 yards of each possession there.
No, it got turned over. They got caught a little bit far up the ground and just weren't running hard enough back to defend it.
So Charlie Kent can kick Donvale's third of the day here. Oh no, Jordovic lines up, and it's going to go through from behind, and that means to score to 2-6-18 to the Basin, 3 behinds. Just confused the hairstyle, but I know it was Jordovic's there. So Burrows will have this one involved. Does the kick. Trying to find the right teammate. They're slowing things down. The Basin. First to scoop this one up would be McDonald. Going backwards and forwards. Not well done here. Rouser gets it out. This is better ball movement. They find Heaney. Heaney does a short kick to Murphy. This is better ball movement by the Basin here. Swindell gets the kick, but first to meet him there will be Cameron. Cameron slows things down, goes inside the forward 50 and an intercept marks to Nick Halo. And tries to slow things down for the Basin.
So Halo looking to go through the middle. It was a risky kick. It was looking there for Lavender. Powers in there as well. Got that little handball out. Donvale once again putting that pressure on and winning the football. Here's McNamara linking handball out wide. A good pass here to Kent, who goes inside forward 50. And they made it look pretty easy there, didn't they, the Magpies? They got the turnover. The short passes were on. They just make space really well. And then the kick goes inside forward 50 and an easy shot on goal. And it'll be Mitch Brower, who we've already mentioned, having a stellar start to this game, to have a pick.
However, it's not going to be easy because both sides have really been struggling to score from the boundary lines.
So Brower will kick from just inside the 50. It's a nice looking kick off the boot. I tell you what, it's gone through.
The reverse Moz.
The reverse Moz indeed. That's a beautiful kick. It travelled every bit of 55, 60 metres. And Brower, reward for effort. He's having a super game. He gets his first on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It only took them 3 minutes or just under to get the first major on the board, stretching the lead out to 20 points here at Donvale Reserve.
Gee, a couple of plays back, the Basin got gifted a rare turnover off the boot of Kyle Heaney. It came back the other way, and it was a nothing kick to the corner of the square. Adam Cameron was there, wise to it, and, well, that resulted in a goal for Donvale.
Restart once again. Knockout that time came from Butler. Here's a chance for the Bears to go forward. A little bit of holding going on there, and it was seen. Billy McCormack had the arm there of Edwards, who wants to get the quick handball away. Kick goes forward now, and it might be a downfield free kick. Will it be?
Yep.
It will be. It'll be in the arms of Connor Edwards. It looks to be. No. Gone further back, so Liam West will be the recipient.
Westy.
Which is a bit strange. I'm not sure whether that was a downfield free kick or if there was some holding happening inside, because that is not where the ball landed. But nonetheless, it's a free kick to the Bears. Liam West still searching for their first goal.
Has to kick this, I reckon. He has to kick it.
Kicks from 40 metres. It's a nice kick off the boot. It's a great kick off the boot. Good respond there by Westy, and the Basin are on the board at last. It took them more than a quarter and 4 minutes, in fact, to kick their first goal on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. But they've got it now, and now they can get their game running. 1-3-9, still trailing to 3-5-23.
And Jared, the other thing I've noticed too, Donvale in terms of body size in some positions of the ground, they look a bit more stronger, and some of the players are running a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. There was a couple of plays there that the Basin looked really flat-footed. Good to get that goal on the board. Hopefully that gives a bit of spark.
Yep.
So returning to the bounce, Basin get their first goal. I think it was about 28 minutes until their first goal. High tackle called. It's going to Thomas Edwards. This is better ball move. Goes inside the forward 50. Edwards they're looking for, but plenty of Donvale numbers around this one. Liardi playing game number 200 and tackled immediately West on Giles there. The umpire will throw this ball up. 2 rucks going at it. Cormac gets the hit out. Jeez, I don't know if that was a free kick. Come on, mate.
Just some Division 1 scores while we've got the stoppage. Beaconfield lead Bayswater by 47. A 13-point lead for Mitcham over Muralbark. 40-point lead from Montrose over Baronia. 25-point lead from North Ringwood over Norwood.
Jeez, I'm not going too early, but...
Keep the lid on, Blake.
Yeah, back to the footy as the 2 rucks going at it. Plenty of numbers around this ball here. Basin will get this one up with Byrne. And they're doing pretty good defensive work here. Donvale. Zala gets this one. Big fire taken by Jordovic. Jordovic goes to his teammate in Fisher. He's having an insane start to this year, coming across.
Oh.
And a holding free kick, so Fisher will get this one back.
Tiki Touchwood.
Could have been 25. Didn't give the ball back to the teammate. The mark taken. Zarlak. Zarlak goes inside the forward 50. Nothing called. And the Donvale, and what's going on here? Free kick. What have they done here? They found something. It's going to go to James Rouser. What is going on here?
There was some shepherding happening off the ball is the signal that I've seen, not by umpire Brad Pulley from the umpire further afield. He's paid a shepherding free kick and overridden it.
So Rouser goes for the short option, and he does. And a player open all by himself.
I don't necessarily. Whilst it's unselfish, I don't think it was necessarily the best kick to kick. To a player in a better position.
He is hard up against the boundary line, but the Basin were just asleep at the wheel. They absolutely assumed that was going to be a shot at goal, and maybe rightfully, maybe this was a worse option.
So Charlie Kent can line up and kick his burst, and he does so. And Donvale kick their 4th, and they're doing some pretty good things at the moment. Donvale 4-5-29 to the Basin at 1-3-9. We've gone 7.5 minutes in. We'll cross down to the boundary. Josh or Chris?
Yes, guys. Connor Edwards from the Basin has just come off with a cut on his eye.
There you go. So blood rule sort of action there.
He'll probably come back on with a mummy bandage.
I do want to see Connor Edwards get going a little bit. He's been a decent midfielder for the Basin. I think he's playing forward, I spotted, maybe because Nick Hallow has been injected into the side. But that is a rotation that can happen throughout the day.
Yeah, I'd be putting him in the middle now.
In Division 2, Surrey Park lead Heathmont by 3 points. Lilydale trailing by 5 points against the Mulgrave Lions. East Burwood lead Ringwood by 9 points. Scoresby trailing by 6 points to Tempe. And it's all square between Quarryton and the Waverley Blues as we have a restart back in the middle of Donvale Reserve here. It's a 20-point lead to the home side. The Magpies going up there. McCormack knocked it down, but straight down the throat there of Halo, who goes up towards centre half forward. A big fly by Sertzikos. Couldn't quite pull the mark down at the fall. The ball, Jeffries was there. Got the handball out, but it was stolen by Lavender. Got the handball back in towards the middle of the ground. Eventually scooped up by Halo. Back to Lavender. Up towards the half forward line. It was a good kick too out in front. Thompson. This is a better build up here for the Bears. Squeezed to kick inside forward 50. The intended target there was Bradley, but the ball fell short. Magpies have the numbers at the fall. Good tackle there by Bradley, but what a pick-up it was there by Sinisic in towards the middle of the ground now. Couldn't quite hit the target there of Giles. Now coming through with Sertzikos. Couldn't break the Rouser tackle, and we will have a ball up right in the middle of the ground here.
You weren't going anywhere, Sonny boy, said James Rouser.
He certainly is a bull, isn't he?
Lavender had a good start to this game, faded out, and that passage of play, we saw him there again, and that resulted in nearly a good inside 50 for the Basin.
Bit of holding. Umpire said McCormick on Butler there in the ruck contest, so it'll be a free kick to the Bears in the middle of the ground. It'll kick out wide. Kicking against the breeze. They trail by 20 points to the Basin. As we cross the 10-minute mark of this second term. Out in front there was Power. Got the quick handball away. The kick goes inside forward 50. Nobody's home though. Harrison Giles is there to mop it up. Squeeze the kick out to centre half forward. Flying over the back there. McDonald did really well. Kick goes inside forward 50. Dropping the mark was West. He should have taken that one, Liam. But he couldn't, and he hits the deck, and he gives him fist the ground as well. He's not happy, and we'll have a ball up 40 metres out from the Bears goal line.
So big hit out there. That was by Power. Slow things down. Tackled immediately inside of the Basin, forward 50.
Just seeing a bit of panic there from the Basin. First, the Ethan Power handball there. It was unnecessary. His man was under pressure, and then the drop mark by Liam West.
So Power gets the hit out. First to try and pick this one up will be Gribble. Gribble goes inside the forward 50. Donvale have been very good with this defensive pass. Vavkos gets it out. Gets a kick inside, but there's plenty of red and green jumpers with Butler marking this ball. Goes to Burrows. Now first to try and pick this one up will be Kent. Kent gets it inside the forward 50 for Donvale. And marking this is Mariner. What a quarter he had in the first quarter. And he's going to back himself here.
That's the right side for a right footer, although gives the handball off.
Murphy from outside 50, a long bomb. He's got it. That is a Nick Murphy special. And Donvale flex their muscles yet again. 5-5-35 to the Basin, 1-3-9. We've gone 11 minutes in to this second quarter on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We go cross down to our boundary reporters.
Yeah, the Basin's Connor Edwards back on now.
They fell asleep at the wheel again, Jared.
They did indeed.
They shouldn't be allowing Nick Murphy to just be loping along, getting an easy handball and kicking a goal without any pressure.
No.
The one thing about the Basin is they just can't hit a forward target in their forward 50. And the way that the ball's coming in, it's basically their forwards have really got no hope at the moment.
It looked a little bit better in the past couple of passages of play, but it still needs to be sharper than what it is.
Well, we're deep into the NBA Finals, and I tell you what, Mariners' couple of assists to Murphy have been magnificent in this game. So he might not have got the scores himself, but he certainly set up a couple of good goals there as Halo goes up towards centre half forward. Mark's been taken by Power a little bit too far out to score, so he's going to go towards the pocket direction. Going to go to Bradley, had the back spot, still somehow got boot to ball, barging through. There was Varthakos, got the handball away, linking up there was Ablett out wide. He knew there was danger coming, eventually picked up by Boland, got the handball backwards. They've done really well here through Liardi. Out towards that centre-half back line. He'll go after it again, Muliardi, over the top of Swindell. Charging through there was Jordovic to force a stoppage, and we'll have a ball up about 60 metres out from the Basin goals.
He's another player that the Basin are not putting enough time into. Josh Jordovic, he's allowed to be running around by himself here.
Varthakos is another one.
26 points is the margin, the knockout, and then once again we hit the deck. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast today on our YouTube and Facebook channels, and of course 98.1 Radio Eastern. Anywhere you're around the world, you can tune in and watch the best game in town as the knockout came to Lambert of Donvale, who goes straight in towards the middle of the ground. But once again, the Bears are making it hard for them to get past that centre square. Inside forward 50, it goes over the back there. It was trying to intend it for Thompson, who went after it. He dropped it like a hot potato. The umpire said it was okay. In came Cameron for the Maggies. Got the handball over the top. Here's Varthakos. The kick was a scrambler, but it'll work out okay here for Giles, who wants to go for the old switcheroo, and he'll go out to Jordovic, who darts away, Dacos-like, on the right boot, pokes it in towards the forward pocket. He ran a little bit too wide, and he's kicked that one out of bounds on the full. Bears to bring the ball back in.
Well, it was a bit like Nick Dacos wearing the famous 35, Jordovic.
And that little duck that he does when he takes it, just to get that extra space.
Yep. So Basin now trying to slow things down. They need to find a quick goal here because I feel like Donvale are going to get going here. Vavkos gets this one set up around the corner here. 1-on-1 and a mark taken. That's by Giles. Again, he's been a great servant for this Woody club. Same with Rouser. I believe John's still around in the club, so good to see the Giles name still around here at Donvale. So he can kick Donvale's 6th of the day here and really stamp their authority on this game here. So Giles can line up here. So goal number 6 for Donvale. Directly in front, should not miss. Goal umpire does not move, and that moves the score to 6-41 to the Basin, 139. We've gone 14 minutes, approaching the 15-minute mark on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard in the second quarter.
Yeah, the Donvale machine is just starting to really oil itself up very well here, Jared. It's a bit worrying here.
And look, that goal came from uninspired ball movement from the Basin. Paul, did you have some stats for us?
Yeah, the Donvale forwards are just getting marks at will. The inside 50 marks at the moment throughout the game are 11-2 in Donvale's favour.
Yeah. Whenever the Donvale kick a point, it's likely that it's just going to come straight back.
Yeah. 3 hours of great games that you go local for your footy in Division 3 this afternoon. Ventura Gully leading by 20 over Coldstream. Knox by over 5 goals against Oakley, and it's a close one. Whitehorse and Sylvan, a 4-point lead to the Pioneers. So we have another restart back in the middle
Pioneers, you like the Pioneers. What's it saying?
I wasn't saying anything about
Oh, don't worry. I thought I'll get that up from you straight away.
No, BWS just loves going down to the D.
That's what I was getting to. See if that was going to get a run today.
Umpire Pulley starts this one just on the edge of the square. McCormack got the knockout. Barging his way through there was Gribble. Couldn't get the handball away. Zarlak was in there, got brought to ground. Well, a couple of bear hugs, and we will have a ball up through centre wing position out here. 16 and a half gone in his second term. 32-point lead to the home side, Donvale. We've become accustomed to piling on the big scores in 2026 as Varthakos wanted to take it. The advantage paid from the stoppage.
That should have been 25, I reckon.
Free kick will come back and it'll go the way of the Basin.
What do you think there, Brash? You reckon it should have been 25?
Yeah, if the umpire deemed it.
Little bit of confusion.
And now it's coming back again.
Yeah, so the free kick to Butler. It stems from the ruck contest. And the short pass is on and he's coughed it up. So Heaney takes the mark. It's the half-back line here for Donvale. You can tell he just wants to go the middle. Kick had to be perfect, and it was just that. Varthakos, he's had a lot of the football in this first half, doing well. Short passes on, barely travelled the required distance, but Jake McCormack was there. Swings around now on the right boot. The kick goes inside forward 50, over the top of Fisher's head. Murphy's handball got cut off. Barging through there was Rouser, couldn't get boot to ball. That should have been holding it. The umpire said it was okay. Byrne got the handball away, then he got it back. Little flick handball out the side. This will work out okay. You would think they're under a lot of pressure. Once again, Varthakos comes inside forward 50. It was like he was trying to spot up Fisher there, but it went straight over the top of his head. And now a chance for the Bears to clear it out through Thompson. On the right boot, goes up towards the wing position. Ball does stay alive. Zarlak was there. He had an eternity to pick it up and then walloped a handball about 30 metres in towards Fisher direction. Got it across to Kent. What can Chuck do? Goes towards the top of the goal square. Over the back, Rouser was in there. Little kick off the ground there by Giles. Just in the right place at the right time. Clever footballers know what to do in those circumstances. He was in position A, boot to ball, goal number 2, and Donvale have 7 now on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 7-5, 47 to 1-3-9.
Well, Thompson overcooked that kick on the wing a little bit too much, and Donvale punished them with a big 6.
Yeah, and really, Jared, the way that Donvale are scoring their goals, they're not in the conventional way. They're pretty ugly, aren't they?
Yeah, look, it's true. It's not entirely systems-based, but I think it just speaks to how many options that they have down forward, how many winners that they have in their forward line, and how quickly they're moving it there as well.
Some Division 4 scores. Well, we've got a stoppage, guys. Bulleen Templestowe leading by over 5 goals against Warrandyte. Churnside Park doing quite comfortably over Doncaster. Kilsyth trailing by a goal against Croydon North Hemlock. And Fair Park get a load of this, 112 to 8 against Nuttawading in the second term.
Well, if you have had a look and listened to them pre-game, I think myself, Josh and Chris all went, I went 120, I think Chris went 130 and Josh went 150, so we're around the mark there.
And you want to watch that as you want that as a badge of honour.
I'm just saying, that was our margin.
They haven't finished yet.
Brower goes in.
Brower.
And gets it. So Brewer gets that one goal and just flexing their muscles big time here. And that's the Donvale's 9th of the day there. Just straight out of the middle if you don't mind. And he kicks that one in for the Vales.
Well, they're doing, Jared, they're exactly doing what the Basin couldn't do in the first quarter. They've taken ownership of the corridor and they're playing their game. They're playing the game that they should be playing, and that's just going down the middle and just trying to expose the spine of the Basin.
And there's very little that the Basin can do about it right now. They don't have the tools down back, and they're being beaten out of the contest as well, and that's just a recipe for destruction.
Early contender for, well, the main contender for the Tobin Brothers goal of the day, and the chingwag going on in the caravan ruined the highlight. But it was a super goal there from Brower, and now the chance for the Basin to go forward. Inside it goes, standing strong in the front spot there was Edwards, couldn't quite take it on the second bite. On hands and knees, trying to get the ball out there was Fisher. Byers going to let this one lie, and we'll have a ball up. It's inside the forward 50 for the Basin.
I almost think Joel Perry has got to put his best four players in the midfield and then work from that.
Thank you, Brash. It's a third. Ruckman got after that one I just saw then. No call there. And getting it out here, the Vales and Heaney. There's a one-on-one. Mariner's going to get there first. He does so, gets tackled immediately. That was by Burrows. And the ball's going to race out. Tout gets the hand pass. Snap around the corner from Jordovic.
Beautiful.
And a great mark taken. That was by Fisher.
How many Jordovics are running around?
I think there's 3.
Oh, he's got a few.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
Mark.
I thought there was I thought he had about 6 running around the way. You hear him every week.
So Fisher can line up. We'll go to the boundary shortly. So Fisher can line up and kick his second. And he does so. And that's Donvale's 9th for the day. And they're definitely flexing their muscles at the moment. And that is their 9th of the day, Donvale. And they're doing really good stuff. We'll go quickly down the boundary for a comment.
James Rouse just came off hobbling a little bit, clutching at his hamstring. We'll keep a close eye on that one, fellas.
Regarding the Basin, what do we think of putting someone like Ethan Power in the ruck?
Well,
McCormick's not massive.
Well, the thing is, Ethan has been in the ruck, but they're probably trying to give him a spell.
Yeah.
But it's going to get to a stage where Donvale are going to force the issue with Joel Perry.
Yep.
And Perry's going to have to play his best players in the midfield to try and win a clearance.
Yeah, true. But, I mean, Butler's been the main ruckman throughout the day. Maybe that they just switch up that rotation.
Fisher's little handball for Sinisic up towards the half-forward line, looking for Varthakos. Probably for the first time has been beaten in the contest in this first half. As a kick now for the Basin up towards the edge of the centre square. It got knocked over the back inside their forward 50 now. Nicely done there by McCormick, the big ruckman, to get back. Little handball out wide, and they just use the ball so nicely, don't they? Heaney takes the mark. The switch is on. They need to keep the ball moving. Taking the mark over the top there was Jeffries. Almost played on. He's going to go back to Heaney, and they'll go for the reverse switch here. Up towards centre half back. It was a risky kick. They buggerised around with it a little bit here, and an umpire Pulleys paid a free kick going the way of the Basin for a chopping of the arms against Cameron. So, chance for the Bears here.
Liam West is the player for the Basin in the forward line who seems the most awake to the game at the moment.
He's the only goal kicker for them, and he'll have a chance for his second. He's going to take his absolute very best. Kick from directly in front, just inside 50. He winds around now for that little bit of extra purchase. It's going right to the top of the goal square. Mark was almost taken that time there by Thompson. Eventually it's rushed through. McCormick was there on hands and knees. He had support from Heaney. Minor score is the result. 23.5 tick over here in this second term. It's a 49-point lead out here to Donvale as we stream right around the globe this afternoon on YouTube and Facebook, and of course on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
So a short inboard kick. First to pick it up would be the milestone man, game number 200, Matthew Liardi. Been a great 7 for this footy club, Liardi. And he goes for a short ball to Lambert. Donvale doing impressive things, leading by 49 points halfway through this second quarter. And that's going to roll out, and it's going to be a boundary throw-in.
Well, that was a good setup by the Basin, that passage of play.
Yeah, they
really forced Donvale to go back to that quarter one sort of indecision in the back line.
last couple of minutes just been a bit sloppy and a bit cute, Donvale. Probably trying to over-embellish the situation.
So trying to get this one out. Here's Donvale, first to pick it up. B. Gribble, he's tackled immediately by Vapkus.
They've just got so many numbers around the contest and around the player.
So another stoppage here. You expect it's going to be another ball up. 25 minutes is what we're approaching at the moment. As Power gets the hit out. And here's a player we've been talking about, West. Gets it out. But again, a kick. That was by Tout. Tout gets it inside the forward 50 arc. First to scoop this one up will be Kent. Kent rolls this one through. Who's going to be the first one to pick it up? Not much communication. But here, this is great ball moving. They can get it out here with Giles. But Burrows has no. As Butler gets it onside the outside wing near the benches. And that's going to roll out. It's going to be a boundary throw-in.
Well, that was hard work by Burrows to affect that contest. But Giles was on his own for so long during that passage of play.
And look, Butler is trying really hard in the ruck, right, to try and give his on ballers some chance to run on the contest, but it's just not happening.
Throwing clean bowled everybody as it came out the back, and now a kick up towards the half-forward line, and Edwards was in front here for the Bears. Takes the mark and takes off to the races. Bouncing football inside forward 50. It's a one-on-one contest. Charging out there was McNamara. Did well, got the handball back to Jeffrey. Handball backwards again. That was okay. A polished kick by Zalak into the back pocket, and a mark taken by Kyle Heaney. Just hitting the targets a lot better, aren't they, as Zalak takes it.
Ooh.
Kick was smothered. Just as I said that, he kicked it straight into his opponent as Power did well. Forced a stoppage right in front of the Bears faithful. They're grouped up there.
Yeah, the ball is from the BFC.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the premier data stats for disposals for Donvale in this second quarter. I reckon they've probably had close to nearly 60.
Murphy and Power went up. Murphy got one hand on it, but Power got the rove. Little handball out there by Edwards. They're trying to work it forward. Tout was out-muscled that time, but they'll link up here through Murphy. On the left boot, in towards the middle of the ground. It went as high as it did long. Over the back there was Giles. Will it sit for him? Through the legs there of Smith. It scoots out wide. Liardi and Browers out there. Brought to ground by Armstrong. Umpire said play on. Here's Jordovic running onto it. Will it sit up for him? He does pick it up. He goes up towards the forward pocket and it's kicked downfield.
Oh.
It's taken by that man in Mariner. And he's finally on the board through the big sticks, the big man. It wasn't the easiest of shot either. He had to use the boo-na-na, and he slammed one through. Another contender for the Tobin Brothers goal of the day. That brings up 10 now for the Donvale Footy Club. 10-5-65, a 55-point lead over the Basin, who are 1-4-10.
Sleep at the wheel again there with Mariner. He should have been shooting for goal, not just meandering into the open goal there, even at an angle.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what's the message from Joel Perry at halftime after this sort of dominance?
The problem is he can't go man on man because if you put them up against each other, the Donvale group is a lot stronger and they look faster and run harder. So that's not going to work. He's just going to have to put his best players in the best position.
So Power in the ruck against Murphy. 27 minutes in to this second quarter, so approaching the main break here. You heard what's going on in the coaches' minds with Brasher and Beanland talking about that. And a high tackle, and it's going to go to the Basin in Power. He's having an okay game for the Basin today. And he goes for that short kick. First to try to pick this one up will be Thompson, the final Mustang. And a tackle's late. That's going to be a high tackle, and it's going to go to the Basin.
Actually, both Basin ruckmen.
Sorry, Donvale.
I reckon that's one position I reckon they might be just winning in the Basin, but they're not getting anything for it.
No.
So Ablett, the famous footy name, goes inside. Jordovic with a big fly.
Oh, what a mark.
Oh, did he mark that?
Yes, he did.
No, he hasn't.
He got first and second,
Oh,
and then fourth and fifth. There must have been a hand in between.
Oh, my God. He definitely took that mark.
Geez, we've had it all on the match of the round today as Murphy gets the hit out. Tackle is laid. And it's going to be another ball up. 29 minutes into this second quarter. Hasn't been many stoppages, I might add. So I don't know how it's a 29-minute quarter, but I'm no timekeeper. As the ball gets it out, the Basin with Power. There's a short kick to Thompson. Couldn't mark that one. And this one might be ball. And then it will be another ball up. So it looks like it's going to be red time at the moment, Wayne Brusher.
It is, and, look, it's, basically from about the 10 minutes of the first quarter, Blake, it's basically been all Donvale.
Yeah. Could not agree more. And that's going to be another free kick on the Basin this time in Halo. Halo goes to the centre of the ground, finds his teammate in Lavender. Lavender goes inside, 50, one-on-one. Mark taken by Edwards.
All right, there's 3 people that we want to see a little bit more from Basin. Hallow, Lavender and Edwards.
So this is Connor Edwards. So there might be a relation with Thomas, but let that one sleep.
Probably.
There he is.
Yeah.
Because his other brother plays at Baronia.
There you go. They're not going well. So as Edwards can line up on an angle here. So he lines up here. Edwards can kick his first and the Basin's second of the day. Edwards lines up and it's going to be through for a goal on the half-time siren, if you don't mind. That could lead to a confidence booster heading into the half. It's Donvale, 10-5-65, flexing their muscles over the Basin, 2-4-16. That is half-time, and we've got the goal kickers for you. Giles with 3, Murphy with 2, and then single goal kickers to Mariner, Fisher and Kent. And for the Basin, they've got West and Edwards as the goal kickers there. We're going to have the half-time break straight after this, but at the moment, it's all black and white in the Magpies, with Donvale leading currently by 49 points.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel, so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Do you want to study at the #1 sports science school worldwide? Study sport at Deakin and benefit from the most advanced sports facilities available, from running tracks to biomechanics labs, and decked out gyms to a climate chamber. Deakin have what you need to graduate ahead of the pack. Discover endless opportunities in sports science by visiting deakin.edu.au/sport. Deakin, proud sponsors of the EFNL.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to Donvale Reserve for the Eastland match of the round. The Magpies taking on the Bears, and at half-time it's been a pretty one-sided contest. Donvale 10-5-65 leading the Basin 2-4-16. I'm Ryan Long, media manager with the EFNL, joined by Josh Ward and Jared Beanland. Josh, I'll start with you, who's been down at ground level. We talked about the wind advantage in the first term. It feels like it's been there, here and there, and Donvale certainly made the most of it in that second term. How big of an advantage is it going down the far end of the ground out here at Donvale Reserve?
I said initially it'd be about 3 or 4 goals. It's probably dropped off a little bit because it is a bit more in and out than it was earlier today and when the first bounce took place. So I'd say about 2 to 3 goals, but I think it's credit to Donvale. The way they're moving the ball, the pressure they're applying on the ball carrier has been really elite, particularly in that second quarter, and that was something Daniel Michelangeli highlighted at quarter time. Take the game on a little bit more, be more aggressive when the Basin take a mark, not inside forward 50 but around the ground, just corral them around the mark and force them to go long and allow Donvale to set up and get those tools back as well, and they've been able to rebound off of that.
Jared, decision making from both sides. I think the Bears have made some odd choices at times. Their inside 50 entries have been subpar, I think, at times, and I know personnel is a factor in this game, so you can't blame them too much on that, but they haven't had too many looks, and their forwards haven't had the great opportunities up there. And I mean, you highlight a couple instances, Power, handballing when probably shouldn't have, and they've ran themselves into a bit of trouble where Donvale themselves, when they go forward, and they are a well-built machine, and they seem to make the right calls at the right times. Yeah, absolutely. Just on the Basin, I mean, Donvale is setting up really well defensively, and they do have the bigger bodies down there as well, so it's always going to be an uphill battle for the Basin to get those marks inside 50s, inside 50 and the opportunities as well. When it comes to ground level, Donvale, they just have the pressure on those forward line players. For the Basin, I just want to see them get the ball into the hands of a Nick Hallow, of a Jack Lavender, some of these better ball users that will be able to spot these things that some of the other players just haven't been able to do. So, they just need to be a bit more creative. And, I mean, credit to Donvale, of course. They are slowing the Basin down, so they're not getting the opportunity for a good amount of space inside that forward 50, but I mean, it'll be really interesting to see if they come out with any changes after half-time. Yeah, they'll probably certainly need to try something else, and, if there is, they're not going to win this game from here, but, if they can sort of get some confidence back in this second half, because the reality is to go on and win the flag in Division 3, you're going to have to go through Donvale. So they've got to try and learn a few things about Donvale, and we saw this. This is, go back to last year. We put ourselves into this ground. Jared, Scoresby versus Donvale. Scoresby themselves were a fair way down against Donvale. And that second half, they flipped the script. They didn't win the game, but they learnt a lot. They built it and obviously took that into the next time they played them, which they won, and then they beat them in the grand final day. So plenty of learning points even in this second half. This is not just a game for them that they can forget about. They've got to use this as a bit of a learning experience and work out some things about Donvale and things about themselves. So why not change the magnets? Why not move and try some different things? Because at the moment it's not working. But what do you think they've got to do here to just to try something different? Oh, gee, I mean, it's a hard one, especially sort of given that I'm not entirely familiar with the list of the Basin, but I do want to see Ethan Power in the ruck a little bit more, perhaps, just to give that body pressure onto McCormick. Maybe, I don't know, playing Mitch Sertzikos a little bit further up the ground, because despite a couple of his blues in the first quarter, he is a good kick. We've seen him before for Ferntree Gully and for Bayswater as well. Maybe playing Michael Thompson a little bit further up the ground so he can take a contested mark on the wing or something of the like. There's things that they can do for sure.
I found it surprising when I saw that Thompson was one of the deepest targets. I'm pretty sure he's played more half-back, half-forward over the last couple of years from what I've seen. I think it's an interesting move putting him as the deepest target alongside Ned Bradley, and that's a handy target to have, but I think you need someone else down there to support him.
just think some of the bigger bodies as well for Donvale, and obviously Rouse has had an impact early. I thought that Vathakos has been pretty much everywhere. They're really struggling to keep the ball out of his hands this afternoon. And then we've talked enough about their forwards, of course, that they've got so many options. So once they get inside 50, I think Basin are really struggling to match up against that forward half. In terms of this game, Josh, Donvale have done everything right so far this third term. They're kicking against the wind, but with the way things are going, it's very hard to see what the Basin can really do to slow this one down.
I think it was brought up maybe putting their best players into midfield, and you got to give it a shot. Guys like Nick Hallow, Tom Edwards, even though Mitch Sertzikos in there as that outlet option alongside a guy like Ethan Power, but also you got to change things up in their attacking half. I wonder if that'll be the case.
Do you put Liam West in the middle as well?
He's a live wire.
Yeah, he's got a lot of energy. He's probably one of the players that's been the sharpest out there for the Basin today. Yeah, he has at least certainly had a somewhat of an impact at least. There was a drop mark that he would have really been regretting. That was earlier on in the game in that second quarter. A couple of things, they missed a couple of shots in the first quarter, and I think after that it really saw him fall behind. Let's have a look at some scores around the grounds. Berwick, handy lead over Noble Park in Premier Division, 7-14, 56 to 5-1, 31. Doncaster East, Blackburn. Blackburn has skipped out to a 22-point lead, 10-6, 66 to 7-2, 44. East Ringwood Roval, 2 points in it. The Roos lead 4-5 to 3-9. Baldwin, South Croydon. South Croydon still lead this one, 7-3, 45 to 4-6, 30. The Tigers. Out of Belgrave South Recreation Reserve, Vermont leading 10-9, 69 to South Belgrave 4-3, 27. Let's move into Division 1. And Beaconsfield, big lead over Bayswater, 10-7, 67 to 3-1, 19. Similar type of game out at Walker Park. The Tigers 10-4, 64, leading Mirrabah 2-3, 15. This is an incredible scoreline considering this is still the first half in this second quarter. Montrose 13-9, 87 to Baronia 9-4, 58. Looking very, very similar to the last time they played out at Montrose Recreation Reserve last year, where it was a big high-scoring game. The D's went on to win this one.
I've got them at 15-10, 100 now.
So it's just updated in the last...
It is 15-10, 100 to 9-4, 58 at half-time.
At half-time, so 100 points on the board in the first half. Matt Clark will be fuming at that one. North Ringwood lead Norwood 8-10, 58 to 3-5, 23. Park Orchards 5-4, 34 to 2-4, 16. Just having a quick look through to Division 2. You might have that up on your phone if that's loaded.
Yeah.
Lilydale.
Well, Lilydale are up 9-6-60 to Mulgrave 6-4-40 in that game. Surrey Park lead 38 to 28 over Heathmont.
Some other results: East Burwood 51 to Ringwood 15, Templestowe 41 to Scoresby at 24, Waverley Blues 36 to Croydon 15. In this division, if we've got time, Leo, we're going to break.
I think you might have also, just quickly, you had a delayed score from East Ringwood Rowville. It's actually 35 to 28.
Oh, there we go. So East Ringwood in front there. So that's the update. We've got quick time just to go through three before we go to a break. Knox 80 to Oakley District 24. Donvale 65 to Basin 16 here. Whitehorse 47 to Sylvan 32. That's a bit of an upset brewing. And Ferntree Gully 38 to Coldstream 32. We're going to go to a break because the umpires are back out on the field. And we'll get ready to go for this second half from Donvale Reserve. The Magpies currently leading 10-5 to 2-4.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds even in winter absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet. Pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
Hi, Dylan Dow from the Baroni Football Netball Club here. When I need to grab a quick coffee or a bite to eat, I'm popping into Eastland. Eastland's more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been a major partner of the EFNL since 2018. Cheers, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to the Eastland Division 3 match of the round down here at Donvale Reserve. It's Donvale and the Basin. Currently at the moment the Magpies in Donvale lead by 49 points over the Basin right now. 65 plays 16. My name is Blake Tennant, and we're going to throw it straight to the score centre here with Paul Laconi. Paul, take it away, mate.
Yeah, we'll go into Div 4. Bulleen Templestowe lead over Warrandyte 9-6-60 to 7-3-45. Churnside Park 6-7-43 lead over Doncaster 5-5-35. It's a draw between Kilsyth and Croy North Emlock 5-8-38 apiece. And Fair Park lead over Nunawading. Fair Park 27-12, 174 to Nunawading 2-2-14.
That's good signs. Doncaster and Croydon North both making a good fist of it.
Yeah, those scores in Division 4 bar the Nunawading game, look, they are low compared to recent weeks and they're competitive, so good sign there.
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
Let's do it. Back in the action now. As Edwards gets it out. There's a kick. And a free kick going to the Basin by the looks of it.
Just as you were choking on
your just swallow your din. Swallow your din first. You thought you had one more bite, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I thought Paul was reading out my score. So
commentator's curse, mate.
So as Power, he'll have the shot from a free kick with a hold. See, I was watching closely there. Just wanted to back up my reason there, Brash.
Ethan's father, Todd, was a very, very talented
I didn't want to say that. But I thought it was Todd.
It was?
His son.
Yes.
So he was a very good player for the Vermont and Basin as well.
Exactly.
So here comes Ethan Power. He's playing a good game for the Basin today. Lines up, and that one's going to go to the right, through for a behind. So that's the first major of this quarter. The Basin 2-5-17 to Donvale 10-5-65, and we've gone a minute in.
That hurts. Yeah. Would have been great to get that on the board.
Well, I had a confidence booster right on the half time break when they kicked a goal. But it's all been the Magpies. And that is a terrible kick. Goes to Thompson, made an absolute meal of that. But there were 3 Donvale blokes trying to tackle him. That might be a bit high. And it is. And it's going to Edwards for this one. Halo, sorry.
Sorry, my bad.
One of the things I think, Jared, in the second half, all the Basin could do is trying to restrict Donvale's space.
Yep.
That's all they can do, I reckon.
Definitely.
And try and at least hurt them when they turn the ball over, just like they did then.
So Halo just on an angle here of the 50 arc can line up and kick the Basin's third of the day, and that's driven to the right. 2 available shots, and that needed to be goals. Fortunately missing out. So 2-6-18 to Donvale 10-5-65. We've gone 2 and a bit minutes into this third quarter. BWS.
So now Donvale to bring the ball back in. You can see the wind get a hold of that. The spoil there was by Halo. He did really well. Still across centre half forward here. The Bears through Power. I remember calling his dad in a number of games that's showing our age, isn't it, Brash, when we remember calling Toddy Powers. These young whippersnappers in the caravan probably weren't in primary school or in nappies at those times. Time does fly. Comes out. Nicely taken there by Barthakos. Just got a boot to ball in the nick of time. Strong tackles by a couple of Bears, and we'll have another ball up just across centre half forward now for the Basin. 2-6-18 trailing 10-5-65 to Donvale. You can see that breeze in the background. Certainly blowing today. Came out McCormack, got brought to ground without the football. Umpire seen that one. It'll be a free kick to Billy. So wants to move the ball pretty quickly. He was a tended target there, was Fisher. It went over his head. So now it's in the arms of Butler for the Bears. Went backwards to Scott, who linked up nicely, and the kick goes out wide. Mark's been taken out there by Thompson. They're hugging the boundary line, but it's working so far. In here is Liam West. Kicked a goal in the first half. The kick had to be perfect, and it was just that, as it now by Upton goes deep into forward 50.
Oh.
Beautiful Mark Bradley out in front. Big Ned. Strong Jukes takes it, and he'll have a ping from about 35 out directly in front.
Their best part. That was their best piece of play all day.
It was steady.
Steady and with purpose.
Yep.
And they finally hit a target.
And they had space in their forward line as well.
I reckon left inside the left goal post. Yep.
100%. That's where you've got to aim. Certainly knows how to kick a goal, Ned. So I'm going to back him in from here. Comes in now, and he makes no mistake. The goal umpire did not move. First goal on the board in the second half goes the way of the Basin Football Club. They move on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard to 3-6-24. Of course, still trailing Donvale by just under 7 goals, who are 10-5-65.
Good start by Basin in the second half. Very good start.
Yeah, they're not putting the cue in the rack. They're responding very maturely, and they're moving the ball with purpose as well.
Cross down boundary side to Chris Curtis.
Josh Ward here, BWS, but Mitch Brower's come up clutching his shoulder as well. Keep a close eye on that one.
Oh, that's not good news. It was a 50-50 BWS.
Yeah, I was red or black.
Yeah.
Apologies, mate.
There's 2 rucks going at it here. Vavakos in this one, swings around the corner. And then Donvale looking to go into this one. Serticus. Oh, that might be a bit high. Or trip. No way. That is... Oh,
No, I
I'm
disagree
sorry.
with that. I disagree with that.
I'll let you have a talk about this one, Brash.
No, definitely not a free kick there. That's not to Donvale.
The thing was, he's on the ground sort of clutching his head, and the moment it was ruled against him, he's up and going, oh, what do you mean, what do you mean? It's like, I don't know.
I think it was played for tunnelling.
So Makali Zalek can kick Donvale's 11th of the day, and the crowd lets you know, and that's through. And that's Donvale's 11th of the day. And Arrows has scored 11-5-71 to the Basin, 3-6-24. So I think it's about a 55-point lead at the moment. 53, sorry, to Donvale. And it's gone 5. We're approaching the 6-minute mark on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, third quarter.
Just one of those goals you just can't explain, Jared. It's just best to
move on.
47, actually.
47. That's all right. You only did further maths, not math methods.
I did maths pathways.
No, footy maths.
Did maths pathways. So there you go.
Is that a notch below again?
Oh, that's pretty below. As we resume in the middle here, McCormack, what a game he's having.
Ooh.
You've definitely been, I reckon, a few of our votes today, I would say. Don't want to reveal mine. As this one's going out. Burrows will have this one. Good defender. Swings around. Tries to look for his teammate in Upton. Gets a kick that's smothered. That was Fisher got tackled. It's going to be holding the ball. The coach liked that one too, Joel Perry. And he got that one. So Edwards will have this say. Gets it inside, forward 50 for the Basin. Bradley involved. Kick the last one. Finds Power. Power tackles immediately. It's going to be a ball up.
They're giving Bradley a lot more space to run into this quarter.
Well, they've got to try and open up the forward line and even try and drag some of their players out, Basin.
Yeah.
Looked like Butler was felled upon there, Bauer. Umpire will ball this one up, so still inside that forward arc for the Basin, currently trailing by 47 points. He managed 3 majors to date, 7.5 gone in the third term. Nice little knockout there by McCormack. Gave it to Halo, who had swung around in a pirouette. He went after it again, picked it up, trying to barge his way through a Bartholomew tackle. Umpire will come in and restart this one. Just inside the paint. About 40 metres out from the bare goals. It'll kick off the ground by Edwards. Sees it over and out. Boundary throw in shoes. If you're enjoying the broadcast today on 98.1 Radio Eastern, and of course streaming live around the world on YouTube and Facebook in sunny Melbourne and in the eastern suburbs of Donvale, as brought to ground there. Fisher pick himself up.
Don't mind this from the Basin. Able to lock it in.
Came out now. Quick clearing kick. Out towards the wing position. Bouncing football. Murphy did really well. Got the handball out to Rouser. They're going backwards to go forwards. Linking up along the boundary line quite well now as the ball goes up towards the half forward line. Mariner had the back spot. He had a little flick out the back. Charging towards goal and running a little bit too far there. It was a little bit hot to trot. And giving away the free kick there was Charlie Kent. He was keen for it. Mariner was looking for another assist, but no avail. Right in front of the Bear faithful there as well, and they were pretty happy about that one.
He was moving at the speed of a Clark Kent then, wasn't he?
He certainly was. Faster than a speeding bullet, some might say, Brush.
Yep.
So it'll be a free kick going the way of Liam Armstrong. Squeeze to kick back to Burrows of the Mitch variety. Right in front of us here in the broadcast position, Ryan Smith wants to kick the field further afield. It was an absolute shank off the boot. Out of bounds on the full as old mate.
Perfect timing.
Hello.
G'day, mate.
He's looked up and seen the lens right in his face.
Gave a wry smile as well as the kick goes towards the Mariner direction. Big fly over the back that time there by McCormack. Spills out the back now. Little handball by Halo. Trying to get out of that danger zone. McCormack did well. Spun it around. Varthakos around the body. Yo beauty. A perfect tap out by the big ruckman Billy, and in the right spot Jonathan Varthakos kicks his first goal of the afternoon and another contender for the Tobin brothers goal of the day.
Yeah, great forward line pressure there on the part of Donvale. They managed to put pressure on that Nick Hallow handball, and that resulted in a goal, and a lot of hard work by Varthakos today is rewarded by that.
He'll probably be racking him up very highly in the Premier Data stats because he's had a lot of touches, Varthakos.
Yep.
Yep, so that is a crucial goal. 53 points. There you go, BWS.
Attaboy.
He's pulled the Casio FX out.
As you probably know, boys, my maths isn't great, so...
Oh, that's a shame. I thought Kate could use your math services, mate. She's got she's got some problems that I think you might be able to help her with.
Yeah, happy to... Anyway, play gets out in a clearance kick here. Do Donvale go? We've got numbers at the back. Mariner can scoop this one up. Doesn't get the right bounce. And it's going out. And it's tackled. It's just going to be a stoppage at the moment. And so we ball up just on the pocket.
Made a meal of it there, Mariner.
Ladies' Day.
I was just about to say, it looks like a bit of a ladies' day out here today.
Well, it is Ladies' Day. Donvale. They're just about to get a munskit, I reckon. Plenty of Ladies' Days today too, by the way. It's great to see.
Out at Montrose?
Yeah, there is today. Yep. Probably why, maybe, they're winning. As this one goes, oh, jeez.
Oh, there's old mate who walked in front of the camera.
He's got a can now too.
Jeez. Well, put it this way, it's the most financial days of the year at the footy club, the Mum's Day, mate.
Yeah, Ladies' Day.
They put the most amount of money any day.
So as the umpire throws it in, Power gets the hit out to Rouse, the champ. And he gets tackled. That might be high. It is, and it will be. That's a James Rouser.
It's really stiff because Power laid a really good tackle, but then coming in over the top, Halo didn't actually have to impede on the situation, and his shoulder that he's dropped as he's done it has given away the free kick. Not necessary.
Yeah.
I think he also collected just as much of his own player as he did James Rouser.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. So Rouser will have this set shot. The little champ. League best and fairest winner. Match of best on ground in the 23 grand final. Premiership player, 2-time. A true Donvale legend, this guy. James Rouser can line up and kick Donvale's 12th of the day. Crowd lets you know about it. The umpire does not move. And that moves it to 13 goals. Donvale 5 behinds, 83 to the Basin, 3-6. 24. We've gone 12 and a bit minutes into this third quarter.
Once again, Jared, the opening 3 minutes belong to the Basin, but Donvale have just hit back hard and said, nah, we're putting an end to this.
Absolutely. It looks a little different from the first quarter in terms of the way Donvale has managed to punish them. It seems to be a bit more down to the contest, a bit more down to the clearance, rather than the sort of expansive ball movement that the Basin had to, the Basin was forcing them through in that first quarter.
Berwick are heading for a big win, BWS. They're up by 43 points at the moment over Noble Park.
Dooley. 59-point margin out here at Donvale Reserve.
It's a Hooley now and a Dooley when the game's over.
Up towards centre half forward. Here go the Maggies again. Inside forward 50. Bouncing football. Charging out there was McDonald. He did well for the Bears. He thumped it out of the danger zone. But straight down the throat there of Jordovic. Still a couple of kicks from home. An explosion happens outside the van. Jordovic runs inside and kicks it up towards the Mariner direction. It was knocked away from him at the fall. The ball in was Edwards. Got the handball backwards to Sertzikos. On the right boot, got it out. Here's Jordovic again. Takes the mark across the 50. He's still too far out against the breeze. Screaming for it short is Murphy. Ignored as Jordovic goes towards the Mariner direction, but the ball sat up and it came across and crunching Gribble that time. And he'll receive the free kick. Last line of defence here for the Bears. Gets a quick handball away. They'll use the far side of Donvale Reserve and poke the ball back in, and an easy mark taken there by Lavender, who's got some running support. Out wide he goes to the run of Smith. Over the top he goes. The series of handballs of link up. Get themselves into trouble if they're not clean here. A Sertzikos handball wasn't just that. McCormick came in to lay a strong tackle on top of Lavender, and they forced the stoppage. They did really well then as we go to Paul over there on the Stat Centre.
Thanks, BWS. Donvale dominating the clearances in this quarter 5-1.
Great stuff, Paul Yaconi, as it came out now at the fall. The ball ducking into it there was Varthakos. Kicked a fantastic goal just recently, ducked into it, hands the ball back to the umpire. Sun shining out here at Donvale Reserve. Little flick backwards there by McCormick. Might work out okay. Here's Jordovic. He's been really good today as the kick goes up towards the Zalak direction. Played it out in front of him. Right on his hammer was McDonald, who'll go after it again and lay a strong crashing tackle on Ken. He did really well as it scooted out the back. Here's Sertzikos in towards the middle of the ground now. They might slow things down, but they will not as Gribble was charging through the middle. Thumps it down over the top that time there of Bradley's head. Is going to sit up nicely there for Thompson. And the quickest way home is straight down the guts, Wayne Brasher. And that's exactly what the Bears did that time, and a fantastic goal, a team goal there.
Yeah, it was. It was a really nice piece of play. They took ownership of the midfield. They played the ball exactly how you're going to play this ground. We keep saying it, but it is the only way to play this ground, especially when the wind's up, down the middle, and they were rewarded, Jared.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great to see them have the intent to take on the game as well. They've got nothing to lose at this point. They might as well put as much risk into the game as possible. Go the corridor, and if it comes back the other way, well, the margin's a little bit higher. And, well, I mean, what difference does that make at the end of the day at this point of the game?
Just a reduction in percentage, which could be important.
It could be important. That's true. That's not a bad call.
Whack.
So two rucks going at it. They get it out here. We're having a bit of fun on the Saturday Arvo team here. And a tackle laid. Perfect autumn conditions out here right now. we've been blessed. I think the last week was terrible weather-wise. Now this week's been great. High 20s, low 20s, sorry, and sunny conditions. Does Donvale get this one?
Sorry to disappoint you tomorrow, Blake. It's going to be raining.
Well, lucky I'm under a roof tomorrow.
Go the Saints.
Oh, it's going to Tigers. I'll be there.
In sufferance?
Yeah, I reckon it'll be a long afternoon. As the umpire throws it up, Power gets a hit out. Donvale looking to go into the attack again. First to try be there will be Serticus. Gets the kick. That was by Swindell. Who's going to be first a bit there? Zarlak involved. He's been held by a Basin player. Nothing called. This is good ball movement by Donvale. If they can get this kick going, they do so. Tackle laid. That was by Swindell. They could be out here. A couple more hand passes would be good for the Basin. Just swing it out. Here you go. This is better. Gets a kick there by Boland. Boland gets it inside the forward 50 to Bradley. Tackle was laid by Thompson. Good forward pressure. First to meet him will be Jordovic. Jordovic, he's got Fisher on the out of wing. He does so. Goes short for him. Fisher marks. Been a great pickup for Donvale. I think he had 5 and about 28 touches a couple of weeks ago. Crazy stat line. As marks taken, that was by McCormack. McCormack goes to short board. That's a terrible kick to the tallest man out there, and that's Butler. So Butler goes outside. Marks again and tackled Bradley. Oh no, and a free kick. Free kick.
Wow.
That is a hit.
25. 25-2, by the way.
Let me have a look at that. I'll give you my uninformed bias.
There you go. I want to hear this.
Come on. That's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yep. So anyway, play resumes now. Scott kicks the ball inside 50 and a mark taken. They're just so good at this off the back line here, Donvale. That's not a great kick. Scooped up there by West. West gets the hand pass. Going to Halo. Halo tackles. And it's going to be a strong tackle. It's going to be inside the forward 50 of the Basin. Hasn't quite been in there.
They would have had that ball, Donvale, bar for an uneven bounce.
Only about 20 metres out from goal. Murphy went over the back, paddled it forward. Zalak was in there, couldn't release the pill. We'll have another stoppage.
Actually, both Zalaks have played very well today for Donvale.
Absolutely. Mahale has really done a good job on Connor Edwards.
Murphy outmuscled Bradley that time. They want to first force the minor score, and they do just that.
Ray Baird has just had a go at our great Lee Green with the scores. That's his first message today.
Well, you need to indulge us instead of just...
Talk about triggered.
Saying the scoreboard was wrong, apparently, Ray Baird said.
Slips catch that time there by Charlie Kent, but he's given away a free kick just prior, so Ryan Smith.
It was my mistake. It was Christian that's playing on Edwards.
Unloads with a bit of a barrel here as he goes inside forward 50. Scoots away, though, from Thompson. Can't keep the ball alive. Ablett was right on his hammer boundary, throwing about 30 metres out from the Basin goal line. 53-point margin as we cross down boundary side to Josh Ward.
Mitch Pereira done for the day. Ice on his shoulder.
Thanks very much, Josh.
That's not a good sign.
It's not. He had a super first half. Shallow throw in that time. Bradley was there. Handball backwards to Byrne. Byrne around the body. Byrne right to the goal square. What a fantastic kick. Tobin Brothers goal of the day leader. I'm going to call that one. A fantastic goal there from the stoppage. Around the body. Sat up and went through. That's a gripping goal. And a beautiful tap back it was too by the big man Ned Bradley in the ruck contest to create that. Fantastic bit of play.
Taught him all he knew about kicking that. Magnificent, son. I'm proud of you.
How the turns have tabled.
Actually, it is a goal of the day. It's extraordinary from where that was kicked.
Yeah, the breeze has dropped off, but still would have had an impact on that kick. So very, very impressive. And look, the Basin, they're not gonna fade out of this game anytime soon, Paul.
Yeah, Just a score update in Div 4. Warrandyte have got the margin back to 4 points against Bulleen Templestowe.
As play resumes. And a high tackle. It's going to go to Zarlik. Zarlik.
That was a little unnecessary by Tsertsikos.
As it goes inside 50, going to the Rouser direction. Couldn't go there. Mariner involved. He had a great first quarter. I think he scored 0 goals 4 today. I could be wrong, but I'm going to take a punt. I'm going to say he's kicked 0 goals 4 today. 1 goal 4, sorry.
If Mariner's to hold his spot in this side, he has to kick goals because once Duncan's fit able again, he'll be back in that side very quickly.
Has he played at all this year?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So that's another inclusion if they can get him right. As the two rucks going involved. Bit of holding each other. McCormack wanted a free kick. Donvale get out of this one. Zarlik snap around the corner. And it's going to be out of bounds on the full. So it's going to be a Basin. Free kick. Burrows has got this one.
Kick and hope there.
Doncaster East trailing by 5 goals against Blackburn Brash is exactly what I talked about with you on the way to the ground.
Yeah.
A game that Doncaster East needed to win to show that something's changed. It was a game that traditionally they would...
Sorry, BWS.
No,
Snap around the corner. Vavakos. And he's missed her behind.
Jeez, that was come on, such a poor kick. Oh dear. Varthakos has moved forward at the moment. I'm sure he will probably rotate back into the midfield at some point. It seems like he's got Connor Edwards playing on him.
Tsertsikos to bring the ball back in. 84 plays 36, 23 and a half gone here in the third term. Donvale just doing Donvale things today. From the kick out, Mitch Burrows takes it right in front of us here in the broadcast position.
It's just what Donvale do, BWS.
It is. Goes backwards to Tsertsikos, who's had a lot of touches today. So drives the ball out of that defensive zone, straight through the arms there of McCormack. At the back of the pack there, Heaney tried to paddle it to him. On his hammer there was West. Heaney did really well, got it to Zarlik, kept the ball alive. They did really well here. It was a perfect knock on by McCormack. Up towards inside forward 50 they go. Spearing kick right into the hot spot. Rouser was charging out, but it was intercepted from a good mark of Burrows. That time of the Lachlan variety, got the handball away. Eventually Gribble takes the mark, still in their defensive arc. The kick goes driving out towards the wing position. Bouncing football, looking for the big man Power on hands and knees. Tackled by Zalek over the back and scoots out towards McCormack. This time of the Jake variety. Umpire said play on. Kick goes up towards centre half forward. Underneath it there is Varthakos. Knocked it to the front spot, charging through, playing for the free kick was Ken. It was picked up though by Butler, the big man, got the handball away for the Basin, out towards the wing position, bouncing football, strong tackle from the back there by Thompson, but it scoots out in towards the middle. They just needed to sit up. This time Sinisic paddled it backwards, really well done there by West. They've kept the ball alive, the Basin, but the Donvale side have the numbers. They'll use the middle of the park now, streaming out wide. Up towards the half-forward line they go. The kick goes up towards, well, I thought it was intended for Mariner, but it fell short and went into Fisher's breadbasket. He's 55 metres out from goal. He's going to go towards the pocket. Murphy copped a push in the back. It was as clear as day. It was right in front of everybody. But Burrows got away with it, and he's happy to see the safety of the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw in about 25 metres out.
The one thing that no side can do in this division is they can't make Donvale pay for their mistakes on the scoreboard.
It's cross-strand boundary side to Chris Curtis. Thanks.
Okay, sorry, Chris. Couldn't get you there. I'm sorry. As a mark taken by Jordovic, the young gun. Bit of Nick Dacos, as BWS mentioned, the famous 35. Of course, his brother Caleb wore it, but he wants to make it his own. Pushing the back again. This has happened twice now.
Burrows is just working him over. And the umpire's not seeing it.
As they get the kick there, that was by Scott to West. Westy, they call him. He gets smothered.
Ugh.
And now they're trying to slow it down again, and they go to Heaney.
He's had ball poisoning this afternoon, Heaney. No one's
goes to McCormack.
5 yards. He's had 5 yards nearly every possession, Heaney, Jared.
Yeah, absolutely.
So McCormack might back himself here.
And he's too good a kick as well to let do that.
If he kicks this would be goal of the day, Blake.
So as McCormack centres the ball and, almost mark taken. Burrows involved. He was pushing a lot of time with Murphy. That time couldn't get that one. So it'll be a ball up on the pocket. And that will do it. That is 3/4 time. And that
Short
is, 26 minutes. I think we went 29. But currently at the moment, it's Donvale. They're home. They're the winners at the moment. 13-6-84 to the Basin. 5-6-36. That is the third quarter. Goal kickers have got Giles with 3, Steele, Murphy with 2, and then single goal kickers to Kent, Fisher, Mariner, Vatfikos, who's probably going to be in the votes, I would say, Zarlik, and then single goal kickers to Byrne and West. And I'm missing 3 more, sorry. But that is 3/4 time action. We'll be right back after this with an interview with the coach, and then we'll hear the call team.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. Let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hi, I'm Ben Desson from Montrose Football Netball Club, and when I need a new kit for a night out, I head over to Eastland. But Eastland is more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been major partners of the Eastern Football Netball League since 2018. Thanks, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Eastland match of the round, Division 3, and we've got Donvale and the Basin. At the moment, Donvale 13-6-84 to the Basin 5-6-36, 3/4 time at Donvale Reserve, and it's been an interesting sort of game. I think it's gone one-way traffic, I would say, since about the second quarter onwards, but we have some special comments by Brasher, if he's wanted to...
Look, I think it was... the common factor in this game is that the Basin have started well for probably the opening 5 to 7 minutes of each quarter, but just have not been able to sustain the pressure. They had it was probably their best quarter where they managed to they got some free flow and they managed to kick some very, very nice goals when they were able to hurt Donvale on the turnover, but they just can't do it consistently enough, and they just can't hit target still in their forward 50.
Let's cross down boundary side to Josh Ward.
Alongside Daniel Michelangeli after that three-quarter time address. Must be very pleased with the first three quarters, Daniel.
Yeah, we've stuck to our method, and we think that our intent on the contest has been really good, so that's the pleasing part. I think they've done a really good job of being able to slow down our ball movement at times, so just about getting back to how do we get a bit of flow back into our ball movement.
Pressure as well has also been really good. I'm guessing that's a bit of a focus as well heading into the last quarter.
Yeah, definitely. That's our one wood, so that's what we try and bring week in, week out. We don't deviate from that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Daniel.
No worries. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you to Josh Ward there. We'll go back to Brash.
Yeah, look, Daniel was right there that the Basin have done a fair job for a little bit of the afternoon in restricting their ball movement, but it hasn't been enough. It hasn't been enough, Blake, in essence.
We'll go back to boundary side with Chris Cordis. No? Hello? Okay, back to Brasher.
He certainly got the wrong end of the mics this afternoon, didn't he?
Hello. I think we might be working now. I'll hand it over to Chris.
Have you got me now? Oh,
yes,
okay.
we do.
Our message from the Basin is just to keep running it out, put some steps in place for the future.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's it really for the Basin. It's a learning experience. Ryan brought it up at halftime. You know, this is what Scoresby did. They sort of figured out Donvale over the 3 games that they played them. Surrey Park did that as well a couple of years ago. Given that you do have to go through Donvale to ascend to Division 2 this year, that's all they need to do is just play it out and keep learning.
So Cormac gets the hit out. Good clearance here by the Basin. Tackle was laid. West involved. And it's going to be another stoppage. BWS scores.
The Premier scores at three-quarter time. A 61-point lead to Berwick over Noble Park. 26-point lead to Blackburn over Doncaster East. 23-point lead by Roeville over East Ringwood in the top of the table clash. An 8-point lead to South Croydon with the fast-coming Baldwin side chasing after them. And then a 58-point lead to Vermont over South Belgrave. How's that for doing some maths on the spot there, Blake?
There you go. As the Basin get this one inside the forward 50. His mark's taken. It's probably because it's on your screen, BWS. I'm sorry to tell you.
I had to work it all out, though. You're only
still
numbers.
Good, still good. Just got to let you know. Got to put you in point there. There's a mark taken. That was by Giles. He's having a good afternoon. To Murphy, the veteran. Gets it inside the forward 50. Vafakos involved. Jeez, he's having a good game, I reckon. Would he be in some of you guys' votes?
Oh, absolutely.
He's thereabouts, absolutely.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me who your 3-2-1 is right now, but will he feature in your votes?
Well, we'll be calling on your mathematics to calculate that, Blake.
You tell me I'm in charge of the votes. As we get it outside here, Cameron goes to Scott. First to pick it up here would be Jordovic. Oh, this is skillful by Jordovic. Don't tell me, Jordovic. You little beauty.
That's goal of the
Jordovic.
night. That is goal of the night.
Yeah, he told me last week that he because I did mention we might be heading up to Donvale, and he said, put me down for goal of the day. So
that skill factor in that was exceptional. Have a look at the way he handled that ball. This kid's got
a great goal.
This kid's got an
Super
exciting
goal.
future.
He did tell me he wanted to be up there for goal of the day. So.
Well, maybe now he just doesn't get it. That was a super goal. Well done.
That's goal of the day.
And a great reward for a super game he has had as well. He has been absolutely everywhere. Jeez, he's got some pace about him. And the oozes class as well. Fantastic bit of play there. And Tobin Brothers' goal of the day. Contender as we're back in the middle here. Billy McCormick went up, charging his way through. There was Edwards for the Basin. Little handball, little flick back was okay. Running out wide there was West, who takes the mark on the chest. Surging forward. Thompson screaming forward. That's ignored. Going for the longer option. Inside forward 50 it goes. Straight through the arms there of Liardi. Got at the back of the pack there. Zalek. Short passes on was good. McCormick of the Jake variety. Squeezed to kick back in towards the middle. Fisher takes the mark. Screaming for a further afield. There is Cameron. He made some space in towards the middle of the square. Takes it on the chest. Their skills are really nice, aren't they? And of course he kicked a grubber as soon as I said that up towards the Murphy direction, who in slow motion then dived on the football. And we will have a ball after.
He wanted a higher tackle than PWS.
Murphy.
They won't give him a free kick.
Yeah, he's The first one down in front of us, that was clear as day. The second one he sort of played for, and this third one was a women of prayer, really, let's face it. There's a little flick over the back there by Butler that time. Handball out there by Tout was okay. Going pretty hard at the moment, and we will have a ball up.
I've got to say, Adam Cameron has consistently been able to lose his man throughout the day and find his way into some space. He was being trailed by the ruckman, Butler, in that contest, and that's not the matchup that the Basin want to have.
He's probably got some mates with him as well, Jared.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Working his way through a phone booth there was Edwards, did really well. Got it away to Smith, who poked it out towards the wing position. Little kick off the ground by Jeffrey. Sees it go over the boundary line and out of bounds in Division 1 this afternoon. There's only one close game across all the games in Div 1. Montana South lead Park Orchards by 1 point. North Ringwood comfortably over Norwood. Montrose doing it very easily over Baronia, as are Mitcham over Murrelbark and Beaconsfield over Bayswater. So only the one close game in Division 1 today. We'll get some more scores coming through as the quarter progresses.
Paul O'Kane,
I've got a score from Div 2, and Scoresby had taken it up to Templestowe. They're only down by 13 points, 8-10-58 Templestowe to Scoresby 6-9-45.
Nice work, Paul. Ball went out towards a half-forward line for Donvale. Murphy was there. It was knocked away from him, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
And just another one quickly in Div 2. Lilydale 10-8-68 lead over Mulgrave 9-8-62.
Ooh, Mulgrave fighting back.
Yeah, but how's Lilydale?
I know. Yeah.
Here come the Bears through the middle. Little handball over the top. We've got plays running in towards the middle of the ground where Thompson made some space, couldn't quite take the mark. They'll get a little quick handball in towards there. It looks to be like a sea of Magpies. Take your pick. Is it Liardi? Just got the kick away in the nick of time. Up towards the half-forward line. A bouncing football. It needs to sit up favourably. On hands and knees, little handball back towards the Zalek direction. On the right boot, squeezed it up towards the half-forward line. Over the back, though, Fisher couldn't quite trap it. Big man Butler came in for the Bears. He got the handball back. Going in hard there was Towd on top of him, Butler. It's a bear hug and a half, isn't it, as he brings the ball to ground, and we'll have a ball up about 70 metres out from goal.
I think he's tried manfully this afternoon, Butler. I'd be giving him the six-pack for the Basin this afternoon.
Jeez.
Manfully? Is that what you said? What was the word you used then?
The six-pack.
Manfully?
Manfully.
Yeah. Okay.
Jeez.
Gonna have to look that one up.
So as McCormack gets his one forward, and Mariner marks.
Like Josh with vocacious last week.
Vocacious?
Oh, no,
vociferous.
Vociferous. Where did I get vocacious from?
Do we have a word of the week segment now coming up? There's no match of the round.
So Mariner will have this one.
We need someone in Dictionary Corner.
I'm certainly not a genius on that one, so I'll leave it up to you guys as Mariner snaps around the corner and he's got it. Big celebration but for the big fella. The game's over, but still, got to celebrate. 15-6-96 to the Basin, 5-6-36. And we've gone about 6.5 minutes in to this final quarter. 60 points lead to Donvale.
Other Division 2 scores, Surrey Park lead comfortably by 24 points over Heathmont. It's a 6-point lead, as we heard, Lilydale over Mulgrave. East Burwood doing it easy over Ringwood. And a pretty close game with Scoresby and Templestowe, with the Magpies still trailing by 15 points. And Waverley Blues by 19 points over Croydon currently.
Couple good, interesting scores. You all hear it on the weekend recovery tomorrow. Brush is on there.
I am.
Ryan and Josh Ward, you'll hear them. They'll come out on a Monday morning, I suppose.
You didn't put your hand up for tomorrow. You're out on the town tonight, aren't you, Blakey?
That's for later. Anyway, McCormack gets it out. Gets the tap.
Thanks for the invite. Only in town every now and again.
I haven't decided where I'm going. I've already said where I'm going after this. But anyway, as we get it out, finds Hingy. And a mark taken. Great mark. That was by Swindell. Swindell gets it going for the Bears. And that's going to be a tackle laid.
He's been pretty good too, Swindell, for the Basin.
Yeah.
Do agree.
Good young future for him, I reckon.
Yeah.
One player that the Basin are missing today is Lucas Gibbons. We'll give them a little bit more grunt in the midfield when he comes back in.
And Lockie Kruger as well. As this one gets it in forward, Butler should mark, and it's going to be a holding free. Should have been 50, I reckon. Delay of play.
So there's definitely upside for the Basin the next time they come and play
Donvale.
Donvale.
They've got Kobe Ferguson, of course, kicked 5 goals a couple of weeks ago. So that's 3 big players missing for the Basin. Sizeware as well.
Yes, Sizeware, yeah.
So this one gets it out. This is by Liardi. You have a big celebration, I reckon, tonight. Game number 200. Rouser, the champ. We try to get this one going. Does the hand pass. Vavakos involved. Donvale, they're trying to work some magic here. And he's got numbers, he's got options, and he gets tackled, gone. Thanks for coming. And Swindell again, boys. He's got the free kick.
Waxing it a little bit too much lyrical there, Donvale.
Played the odds.
Yep.
Swindell got it away to West, and now they've linked up, and now the Bears surging forward. The short pass is on, looking for Bradley, the big man, but has knocked away fiercely that time there by McNamara. Let's have a look at some other scores in Division 2 today. Is Cold. Is that what I've got? Division 3, sorry. Coldstream are trailing by 21 points to Ferntree Gully. Knox are doing it quite comfortably, 93 points up against Oakley. Sylvan trailing Whitehorse by 13 points.
Wow.
So
not sure what to make of Sylvan at this point. They're losing at home.
Do you want some AFL scores quickly?
No. Well, let's go. Let's go with Division 4. A 4-point lead to Bulleen. Temp over Warrandyte. Churnside Park 75-49 over Doncaster. Great to see them back playing this week. Kilsyth have hit the lead against Croydon North. Emlock, they lead by 19 points, and Fair Park lead by 218 points against Nunawading at the moment. Doing it Fair Park style as here comes Jakey McCormack. Surges forward, inside forward 50 it goes, or thereabouts. Taking the mark there was Giles. Giles swings around. Giles wants a goal, and Giles nails it. That's 4 on the board now to Harry Giles. He's had a super game and a fantastic team goal there and just finished it off magnificently. Wayne Brusher, another goal contender for the Tobin Brothers goal today.
Yeah, well, that was Donvale, their absolute best. They just moved the ball from left to right, up and down the ground, and they just found space wherever. We were just talking a minute ago, if Donvale are the yardstick in this competition and all those sides, second, third and fourth, right, have got injuries and need their players best in, that's fine, but they're going to have to find a way to play 4 quarters of consistent hard football against the Donvale side, because they're going to take a lot. They're going to take some beating this year. They are going to be really, really hard to beat.
As the two rucks going at it, Cormac just gets the soccer kick. He's getting ready for the World Cup as Fisher gets tackled. Scott does a short kick and finds Burrows. Gets it inside. Finds his teammate in Byrne. Of course, relation to my man on the left. And the mark is taken to Ablett. Ablett goes in the centre of the ground. And it's going to be a Basin free kick. McCormack just didn't want to touch that one. He goes inside the forward 50. Oh, geez, nasty landing there. Thompson. And that's going to go through from behind. The dogs are out.
Yep.
Bit of a dog fight.
Really wants to get involved.
I know Matt Fody, our old media manager, used to have a great time with dogs. With on the footy field, there was a dog on the
Love
field.
Love dogs,
yep.
but not at the footy.
It's McCormack. Gets it outside to where we are. McCormack. He's got 2 Bears around this one. Thompson gets the hand pass looking for Scott. First to scoop this one up will be Heaney. And a tackle that should be holding the ball. It is, so Power. Of course, his father, Todd.
They look exactly the same as well.
Yeah. I've never seen Todd, so I can't help that. And so get it forward, Heaney. And that's going to try to be tackled. It's not. So it's 102, plays 38. Approaching the 13-minute mark. Oh, free kick.
Yeah.
Didn't see that. As kick goes. Mark taken. It's going to go to Cameron. A short kick. This one's going to get spotted. Here we go. Fisher goes to the Donvale sort of bench at Donvale Reserve. Trying to get this on will be Swindow. He does. Goes for a hand pass. Good stuff here by Basin. McCormack has this one. Zarlik goes to Jeffrey. And Mariner will have this one. Gets it inside the forward 50 and an easy mark as you like. Taken.
Very easy.
And he's just going to have a set shot here.
He's had a picnic this afternoon, hasn't he, Harry Giles?
Yep.
All his Christmases have come at once for him today.
In May.
Yeah.
Let's see that.
Let's not forget, Harry Giles he's been a good player. He's a big-time performer too. He performs, especially when the finals come up. Probably didn't have as good as last year, but nonetheless, dangerous footballer.
So Harry Giles, Giles' name is big in the Donvale Footy Club, and that goes to the right, through from behind.
Give him a rap, and what has he done? He kicks a bloody
Commentator's curse.
Oh my God.
Or caller's curse, I would say. As it moves to 16,703 to the Basin, 5-8-38. We've gone 14 minutes in to this final corner. BWS.
So the Bears to bring the ball back in. You're enjoying the broadcast today. Needed to see what this powerful Donvale unit looked like, and they certainly haven't disappointed. Currently leading by 65 points. Looking to grow that, but the Bears certainly have not stopped all day. The kick went in towards the west direction, but it was intercepted with a strong mark being taken by Ablett on the second bite. So Ablett, what they've done so well today is work the switch. Goes away to Jordovic. He'll cut it back down the throat of the middle to Cameron. Happy to take his time. Right in the middle here at Donvale Reserve. On the right boot now. Sets it up for the Flyers inside forward 50. Over the back there, McCormack was the second man up. At the spoil of the ball, the kick went out towards the west direction. Charging out there was Bradley, the big man, got brought down. Almost didn't have the football, and but he dropped it. And he's been pinged for holding the ball. Good tackle there by Ablett.
Liam West has competed well today. He's only small, but he throws as much of his weight around as he can.
25 as well.
In a must-win game for South Croydon today to keep their hopes of playing in Premier Division alive in the future. They have the ball, were knocking on the door. It's only a 1-point margin, but the Doggies still have the lead as the kick goes inside forward 50. Looking for Fisher, who's knocked away from Lockie Burrows over the boundary line and out of bounds. So a close game out at Baldwin today. And the Doggies hold on. Be a big surprise loss if Baldwin drop this one. Lilydale have come back from the clappers against Mulgrave, and they currently lead by 11 points as well. Vantage paid here, Liardi. Can he put one through? He does. And now that will be a 25-metre penalty. Umpire Brad Pulley not impressed with that. Bit of holding in the ruck contest, so it'll be a free kick going the way of Ethan Power, who wins himself 25-metre penalty to boot. Whitehorse Pioneers by 5 points over Sylvan. Kick goes up towards the half-forward line. Intended target there was Thompson over the back. Here come the Magpies, streaming out of defence. McNamara. Short passes on. They've got numbers and just happy to slow things down. Kick goes in the middle by Sinisic. Down Zalak. Once again, the old switcheroo out the far side. They could have raffled it, Giles and his teammate, but they let it go. Charging in through there was Armstrong. Pius said it was a free kick going the way of Bears as Giles was running away with it.
Good news for you, BWS, but bad as well. But as play resumes, kicks it inside the forward 50. Upton involved, gets the hand pass to West. And it's game tackled by 3 Donvale boys. Jordovic involved again. As I was about to say,
what is this good news you speak of?
Josh Shacking's 67th, but Doncaster East is still losing. So you got some good and bad news, BWS, this weekend.
That's going to make him feel better, is it?
Yeah. The big time recruit coming to the.
I wasn't talking about Shaggy. I was talking about BWS.
Oh,
you're trying to make him feel better.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Got to have some positive things with it. This tackle is laid. Zarlik involved. It's going to be a ball up. So, looks like the crowd's just, I think everyone's gone in the club rooms a bit. There's the two rucks going at it. Mariner. First to sweep the shot up will be Halo. Halo goes for a short kick. Finds his teammate in Byrne. Byrne goes inside forward and finds his teammate in Bradley. Now that's some coaching review. That is what you want to see from the Basin. Halo goes for the short kick and then Byrne to Bradley. So good. That's all right. But you're playing against Donvale, but good learning curves. So Bradley, the former Kilcunda man, Forest Hill man as well, can line up and kick his second. And he's got it. Goal umpire doesn't move. That moves the score to 6:44 to Donvale 16-7, 103. We've got 19 minutes in, approaching the time on, and the Basin get one there. And what's the margin's about 59 points at this stage. So
it's exactly
59. Yeah. What's the lowest margin Donvale have had this year?
This is the one at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
So right under the Basin.
Yeah. And considering with all the outs that the Basin have had today, you know, they'll have all those players coming back in, or I would think in the next time they meet, hopefully. They'll be played at the Bear Cave. Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that game will be played. Will the smaller grounds still favour the Donvale bigger bodies, I wonder?
Massive fist by Butler, went up towards centre half forward. It's looming around that area now. Scott trapped it, wrapping him up. Jake McCormack will have the ball up half forward line for the Basin. Trying to finish this game off strongly, the Bears. High Pulleys restarts now. Billy got the knockout wide, chasing after it there, Varthakos. Kept the ball alive on the boundary, did really well. Dumped it every bit of 50 metres, bouncing football. Will it stay alive? Chasing after it there. Sertikos was in there, little kick off the ground. Kept waiting for it to go over. Smith's kick is eventually smothered, nicely done by Chrissy Tout, and over the boundary line she goes for a boundary throw-in. Any more interesting scores? There are. Wanturna South hanging on by a thread against Park Orchard, 78-77. Brings the ball back into play. Murphy at the front spot. Butler over the top. Little handball out wide. He's Tout. Couldn't quite trap it. Dives in after it again. On hands and knees, Smith got the handball away. Over the top there is Sertikos in towards the middle of the ground. That was okay. Byrne takes the mark. Had a hand in the last goal. Byrne now. Winds around on the right boot, dumps the ball inside forward 50. Bradley had to take it on the bounce. He did well, the big man. He handballed it backwards. Keeping the ball alive was Gribble, but only momentarily. Over the boundary line she goes for a boundary throw-in.
Falcons are home, I would say.
Falcons are home against Mulgrave. It opened up a very handy 17-point lead.
How about that? They've knocked off the top team and then have beaten the next top team.
So far, it's all square at Baldwin Park.
Oh, wow.
53 points apiece.
Keep an eye on that one.
Imagine if they beat Surrey Park in a couple of weeks.
There's one thing about Baldwin is they don't mind coming from behind, do they?
We know that very well.
As the kick goes in towards the middle of the ground, it bounced over the top of Murphy's head and then it went through the legs of Smith. A few party tricks happening in the middle, unintended, as going to ground was Darcy McDonald, and he can't go anywhere because he has Matty Liardi riding him.
I think Baldwin will mind that they let South Croydon get the jump on them as bad as they did.
South Croydon did beat Baldwin last year, so they know a thing or two about beating Baldwin.
Cormac got the knockdown, still in the centre square here. He'll get the clearance. Comes out eventually to Jeffrey on the right boot, pokes it to centre half forward as a beautiful kick, looking for Tout, who dropped what he probably should have taken, went after it again. Strong tackle there on Gribble, almost a little bit too crude, but he wrapped him around perfectly and will have a ball up across the half forward line.
Berwick are up by 73 over Noble Park.
We'd like to see how Jackson Binns is going today, former Carlton man.
Cup your hand and put water in your hand and then you bring it to your eye.
Thank you very much.
Best advice I've heard all week.
There we go, we've got the player mics going well.
Well,
The water bubble is right in front of us.
Burrow gets it out, tackled immediately, and that's going to roll out. Crash.
At least we're giving everyone today their 1 minute of fame, aren't we? You know, we've had people bobbing their head in, and a bit of a chat.
He's actually at the toilet
The
beside
dogs.
us right now, old mate.
Oh, he's back. He's actually back. Okay. Yep.
Meanwhile, play resume.
Meanwhile, Chuck Kent's going for goal.
Yep. Kent can line up on the angle here. You probably kick it on the tip of the 50 here. Kent. And that's drifting to the right. Ooh, out of bounds on the full, if you don't mind. So, scoreboard reads Donvale 103 to the Basin 44. Approaching the 24-minute mark in their final quarter. Yeah, the Falcons are well and truly home. 94-65 at the moment over Mulgrave. And the Dogs lead by 5 points over Baldwin at the moment. I'm not reading the other scores because they're pretty filthy at the moment. Same with Division 1. Nothing.
Well, One East South are up by 1 point now.
Oh, sorry. Apart from that one, sorry.
Yeah. That's
East Ringwood clawing back.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that after the game.
Jordovic got the quick kick inside 50, pushed it out of bounds on the full.
We are approaching full time. Who's going to... We might just go around quickly. This ball will be gone for a bit. Our votes, boys. Just some players that would be in contention. You don't have to tell me who's...
You want some hints?
Yeah. I've already sort of got my votes written down, but if we want to quickly talk about
in your head?
Yeah.
You've got them written down in your head?
Yep, I can just go on right now and just go...
Okay.
Yep. Okay, good chat, boys. Anyway, I'll just call the game, all right? So Mark,
what you paid for, man.
So Mark's taken.
We reserve the right till the end of the game, mate.
Oh, you can tell me, who's going to be in contention.
I think Harry Giles is a pretty good shout.
Thank you, Jared.
Barthakos is going to be there or thereabouts, as I think we've said throughout the day.
There's probably 11 Donvale players that would be considered for the votes.
Yep, very good. That's what I was after. They go inside 50, do the Basin, but there's just so many Donvale players in this one. Zala gets it in forward, and a mark taken by McCormack. Has 3 grabs at it. Almost like a slip, sort of.
Well, he's had leather poisoning today too. Him and Hegney. Has anyone been playing on them?
They just freeloaders. I think Donvale just waiting for that siren to sound. Zarlak gets it in. Going to his brother, actually. Murphy just tried to do that one. Butler. And they're just snapping around the corner of the Basin. So it's going to roll out. Oh, geez, in danger, surely. And that's going to roll out.
Oh, he endangered himself. It looks like he hurt himself with that swinging kick.
You don't want injuries now.
Thompson.
Dog filthy with that decision.
A point in it. Pointing it at East Ringwood.
Jeez. I thought that game was done and dusted. That's
well, it's gone quiet, so
Ray
we know
did,
that it's
certainly.
close because Ray wouldn't be. Otherwise, Ray would have been texting.
Yep. We only hear from them if they're winning or if it's a close game. And there you have it. Full time down here at Donvale Reserve. The Vales keep their unbeaten streak alive with yet another 100-point win. Well, 100 points to their tally that they're kicking on here with a 16-7, 103 win to the Basin. 6-8-44. And my goal kickers are no good. So I'll just read through what I've got here. Giles with 4, Kent with 1, Fisher with 1, Mariner with 1, Vavkos with 1, Murphy with 2, Zarlak with 1. I'm missing a couple more on the Basin. Byrne, West and Bradley. And I've also got Thompson as well as Smith. So that's the goal kickers and a big win. And thanks, Paul. And that will do us. We're going to get an interview with our 2 boundary reporters. Hopefully the mic's working, I'm hoping, to get this interview. But that's a big win for Donvale. A 59-point win to the Vales in this big one. They keep their unbeaten streak. And they're looking pretty promising. A lot of forward options. And again, they're going to be that team that everyone's going to try and beat because They're doing exactly what they're meant to do. So
Indeed, Blake. They've not enjoyed being the hunted for some of these past 4 years because it all comes unstuck on grand final day. But I think at this point, you got to say that despite form over the past few years, they got to be premiership favourites. Even if history says that they end up losing it.
all right, we might grab that interview now with Chris Cordis and Josh Ward. I believe Josh Ward's got James Browser, and we've also got the 200 game man, Matt Liardi.
Yeah, we'll go with. Well, why not go with the milestone man, Chris? Actually, let's see if the mic's working.
Yep, that mic's not working.
You guys got me on this one.
Yeah, we do.
There we go. So, Matt, congratulations on the win. Game 200, obviously. Can you run us through a bit? We heard that there was a bit of a ceremony of sorts pre-game. Do you want to run us through that?
Yeah, it was good. I had the family in the rooms. Well, g'day, gentlemen. It's been a while. Had the family in the rooms. Old Billy McCormick was there, my first senior coach. So it goes back nearly, 17 years ago now. So, it was a really special moment. I actually played it last year, the last game of the year, but we thought we'd celebrate it today. It was good to get a win with the boys.
Yeah, fantastic. And obviously, 200 games, you would have seen quite a few sides go through this club. Where does this one rank so far? Because it looks about like it might be the best.
Oh, yeah, pretty clearly, like the way the boys are playing. We're flying at the moment, and couldn't be happier with where we're at as a club. So really happy.
And we'll go over to James Rouser as well, one of the stars of the Donvale, and a man you would have played a lot alongside Matt Liardi, James. What does Matt mean to the club, and what does this victory mean to the club as well?
I'll start with Matt, and I mean, Matt, to be honest, if you ask me to define Donvale, I think the answer is Matt Liardi. We had some pretty, tough times back in the day, and Matty was one of the only ones that really stuck out by the club and put the club first before him. And I was lucky enough as a young kid coming through to reap the reward with him in a 2017 granny that was pretty monumental for the club. And I can't speak more highly of the man that he is. He's been an inspiration to us all. He's the reason that I've stuck around and kept playing. So I owe a lot to the great man, and we do like to share a few things us two. So he will hate that I'm here, but it's good to celebrate, and it's a great win for the boys.
I was going to say, it's a terrific performance. You've performed really well so far this season. Remarkably, this is the lowest winning margin you've had in 2026. But what's just making this Donvale side click so far this year?
Oh, look, I think the framework's always been there. I mean, the reality is we've been a pretty successful team over the last 4 years and fell short at the wrong time. But, we've continued to just trust our system, trust our process, support the young kids coming through. And, with a nice taste of the old veterans next to me, we're going really well at the moment. So just keep it going the way we're going.
Oh, the boys are urging you on to sing the song as well. Congratulations on the victory, boys. Congratulations as well, Matt.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, great stuff there.
I actually think he's made a very good point there, James. Continuity, right, with a playing group that's been together for a long while. The reason why sides play at this sort of level and are able to maintain a good record is because of that. And at the moment, there's no reason why that they need to change their game style or anything that they're doing, Donvale, because whatever they're doing, and as James said, it's just things just don't happen at the right end of the season, but during the season, they don't put a foot wrong, BWS.
No, they certainly don't, and they'll be nervous come the end of the season, though, won't they, this year? And they have every right to be, because we've seen this story before from Donvale, especially in recent years, and they deserve the right to be the premiership favourite. And what a great story it is about Matt Liardi, and what beautiful words there from James Rouser as well. And Rashford, people like you and me who have been, and Lee as well, who have been around the league for a very long time, like, we know the story of Matt Liardi. He's been a quality player and serviceman of this football club for such a long time, and you can see how well he's respected right amongst the whole football club in entirety as well. And there's a good crowd out here today, and it was nice to hear that he did have that game last year, but he decided that this is the day that he wanted to celebrate it out here today, and it's obviously a special occasion for him, his family, and let's just hope that for his sake and for all the Donvale brethren who have been through the last few seasons, that this actually is their year, because they are dominating this division. There's no two ways about it. They are the clear-cut, the best side by quite a stretch.
Yeah, Flemington Straight, would you say?
Yeah, well, yeah, 1,200 metres, sure, let's go with that. But it is going to get, those question marks are going to come later on in the year. What's going to happen when we get to the big dance? But I don't know, there's a bit of a feeling this year that there is a lot of hunger still alive, and the hunger can disappear when you're in and around it and you've got that heartbreak, and it's happened for so long that can disappear. But this year you can sense the thirst is really there at the moment, and they are playing some really good football. And today, not one of their more powerful games where they've dominated the scoreboard, where we've seen those 150 plus scores, the 200 plus scores. They came up against an outfit today in the Basin who are also going to be finals bound, you would think, this year in Division 3. So a serviceable performance by the Basin today. They'll be looking forward to playing Donvale back on their home deck later on in the year, and then who knows what can happen in finals.
Yeah, and with some players back as well for the Basin, absolutely. And on Donvale, we definitely saw it, even just like in that first quarter where the Basin were putting a lot of pressure on them. Donvale were sharp, they were focused, they were trying to figure out how to get through that defensive zone, and they were able to do so. They got their first scoring shots with a lot of patience, and they didn't let the Basin rattle them at any stage of the game. So you can tell that the mentality is very focused, and that they've got good heads on their shoulders, and they've got that experience now that I reckon that the past hurt is going to be outweighed by all that.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and then after this we're going to read some scores around the grounds, and then we're also going to do our votes and our Tobin Brothers goal of the day.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her two young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds even in winter absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to Division 3. Eastland match of the round down here at Donvale Reserve. It was the Vales Donvale 16-7-103, defeated the Basin 6-8-44, and that's Donvale's lowest margin win all season long. So well done to the Basin for
What is?
The ball in South Croydon score. I've just tapped
Yeah,
in.
full time.
Full time.
Yeah, I'm just having. Yeah, I've got on Play HQ and it's still got it as live.
Vermont, big winners, 55-point wins. 3 games on the road from the Eagles, and then they go back home, I do believe, for round 7 due to the club rooms. Oh, no, they go to Cheatham Park next week. So 4 away games for the Eagles. They don't mind anywhere, any place, any time. The Eagles mentality, I guess.
Goody.
Mitcham had a 90-point win over Muralbark on the weekend. Montrose, 168 to Baronia 90. Big win there from Montrose. The Devils have got home here, guys. 10-point win. Montana South 101 to Park Orchards 91. Beaconsfield 122 to Bayswater 39. Division 2. Surrey Park 103 to Heathmont 47. Lilydale, they just keep doing it. 100 to 66 over Mulgrave. East Berwick with a big win over Ringwood on the historic day today for Ringwood. Unfortunately, didn't get the result that they would like. Templestowe, big winners over Scoresby, 80 to 46. Waverley Blues, 73 to Croydon, 51. We move our attention now to Division 3 now. Furniture Gully, big winners over Culture, 109 to 52. Knox, I did say to you guys, but you guys didn't tell me this margin. But Knox won by 124 points, 175 to 51. You already know the score here. Donvale, 103 to Basin, 44. And Sylvan, they've won this game, boys. 84 to 75 over Whitehorse. They were down all game. And
That's heartbreaker for the Pioneers.
Heartbreaking losses in the row for the Pioneers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Warren,
just to interrupt you before you go on, if you're watching on YouTube, that's the final quarter at the moment. We're inside 54. East Ringwood, I believe, they lead by 6 points in that game. We'll see if they're able to hold on there as Ringwood.
Stainsthorpe goes to the wing.
Yeah, you might as well call it that.
I could keep going if you want me to. Bully and Templestowe might get their biggest scalp of the year, boys. They're up by 5 points over Warrandyte, 76 to 71 there. Chernside, geez, I'm pretty happy with Doncaster's performance, even though they did lose. A 19-point
goal. Shot a goal.
Oh,
it's
what
there.
happened?
East Ringwood.
There you go. I think they just got one there.
Sorry, I wasn't watching when I
Kilsyth had a big win over Croydon North, 111 to 58. And oh my God, 318 Fair Park. It's another warning, 3-20. Bryce Galvin's got 12, and Schroeder has got 11.
Holy dolly.
There you go.
Whoa.
So that's that might be the biggest win in club history, I would think. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you don't love to see that.
No. All right, so we might do the attention we're all here for, and that's the votes for today. And we're going to go with the player of the game. I don't know what the sponsor is. Sorry about
the
that.
Cryo Stay Young Eastland Best On Ground Award. You've also got the Tobin Brothers Goal of the Day. Start with the Tobin Brothers Goal of the Day, Blake, because that's a bit easier to.
Jordovic,
easy.
Let's go through the contenders though, because in the second quarter, Brower kicked a fantastic goal. In the third term, it was Mason Byrne, who we saw was a great goal from him. Jonathan Varthakos as well. He was also in the third quarter, but the goal that we've all, I think, unanimously agreed upon was Josh Jordovic, a fantastic goal in that last term.
Yeah,
brilliant skills.
Jordovic for me. Everyone say aye.
Yeah, happy with that.
Another goal from East Ringwood.
Yeah, no, that's game over.
So 3 goals up there against Roval. Roval have not scored in this final term out there at East Ringwood Reserve.
Roval correspondent won't be happy.
Everybody get on the group text and put a dancing man emoji.
All right, so we've done the Tobin Brothers goal of the day. Let's go with the Cryo
Stay Young Eastland
player of the game. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 for this one. My one, I'll start off with our boundary riders first. So we'll start off with Chris Cordes. Josh hasn't got his mic ready, so we'll start off with Chris.
All right, I've gone 1 vote. James Rouse, I thought he was really good through the middle there. 2 votes. Harrison Giles, I think enough said with the 4 goals. And 3 votes. I really like Mahal Zalak today.
Can someone please write these down, please? Josh Ward?
I've got Mitch Brower for 1 vote. I thought his first half was really good. 2 votes, I've got Harrison Giles. And 3 votes, I've gone with Jonathan Barthakos.
Yep. Hang on one sec.
Here we go.
Yep. And we're going to go to Wayne Brasher.
Yep. I'm going to give 1 to Jonathan Varfikos.
Yep.
I'm going to give 2 to Harry Giles and 3 to Mahale.
Day. So we've got a lot of time to do at the moment.
Well,
we can,
yeah, of course, go back to some of these scores. That East Ringwood game, that's just about over. We've had a couple of highlights on the screen. 14-12-96, the Roos to Roval 11-12-78. They just kicked the last one, Roval, but that's a 7-goal-to-1 final turn for the Roos to remain undefeated in the division. We can talk about the talking points about these games as well. Blackburn defeating Doncaster East, as you mentioned as well, Blake. So East Ringwood remain the only side undefeated in the division. And that game has just finished now, I believe, out at East Ringwood Reserve. Is that right?
96. It was 14-12-96 to 11-12-78.
So I think that's... When you look at some of the Roval ins this week and you look at East Ringwood, they lost Delaney, they lost a couple of other players, Jared. That's a big result to run over the top of them in the final term and obviously remain undefeated. Yeah, that is huge. Something funny?
BWS has put 3 kangaroos on there.
There we go. Well, we'll get some angry texts coming through just shortly.
Mate, we'll get the 4 angry faces. Mm-hmm. We might even get 8.
Well, it's officially a draw.
We'll see. It is a draw out at Cheon Park.
Yeah, it's no, down at Baldwin Park.
Baldwin Park, yep. Yeah,
that. Oh, how would you feel, though?
67 apiece.
So at least they get their premiership points. They get 2.
They do. Yeah. Damning with faint praise there, Blake, because South Croydon, they would have loved to have capitalised on that opening quarter. Just couldn't maintain it. And I think that's the story a lot of the time with South Croydon, especially earlier in the season. They just fade out of games.
They've got Vermont next week, South Croydon, so it's not going to be hard. It is going to be hard. Sorry. excuse my language there.
It's going to be hard to say, obviously.
But, at that game, they always produce good games, those 2 clubs, so it's going to be pretty special as well.
I think there's a couple of stories out of Premier Division. The rise and the rise of Berwick are starting to bear fruit. The loss of Doncaster East is another talking point.
Yep.
Obviously,
Vermont big winners too, Brash.
Oh yeah, they did what they had to do.
Well, credit to the Eagles who started off slow. That's 3 road wins in a row as well. So I think that's what makes that quite impressive, and they've done it very comfortably at South Belgrade as well.
Now I know what everyone's going to say, but Montrose Baronia. Now, I have not seen Montrose deliver this sort of game and scoring in a long time. 26-20, 176 defeated Baronia, 15-7-97. Unfortunately, the goal kickers aren't up yet, but that's a big score for Montrose.
Well, you're probably just playing the blind today, Blake.
Well, that's in terms of scoring, and I think even it was said on Friday that the D's don't score enough. That's 46 scoring shots against a top 5 side. 79-point winners. That's a really, really big response.
And also, it's just because they scored 139 last week, and now this week they scored 176. So
is your father in charge of putting the scores in, or what?
No, I do know who's in charge of doing that.
Well, ring him up and get him to put them in then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he might be at this game. It's happening at the MCG, but
I think the other game that takes my eye in Division 1 is the Wantirna South Park Orchards one. The Sharks were up. They're playing at home. They know how to play Domini really, really well. Wantirna South, I don't know how much they would have played there over the past few years, but it's a very different team anyway from when they were
ago.
Yeah, exactly. And they came back and won, and I think that's a really characterful victory by Wantirna South. That's their first team in the top 4 that they've beaten.
And also, it's with the key outs too that Wantirna South do have too. You know, no Liam Hewitt, Lockie Noyes also gone out, and a few others that are out too for Wantirna South. But that's a big win. But just on Baronia's sake, like I and I'm not being in a negative way, to me, they haven't made a statement at all. If you have a look at the ladder, they have not beaten anyone. That's a key statement as well. So I don't think they're going as what most people would think they'll be doing. So that's a big win for Montrose. But we move on to Division 2, and I think the key talking point is for Division 2, fellas, is Lilydale. So they've knocked off the top team, and now they've beaten the other top team in Mulgrave.
Well, we thought it might have been a possibility on the Friday preview, given it was the LSO, but not by that margin. I think.
Well, with also considering Mulgrave's form going into this, and I heard from a couple of people this week, and a lot of people really rate Mulgrave as rate them as the real deal and potentially the best side in this division. So to be able to respond at home and knock them off quite comfortably in the end, 34 points, that's super impressive.
Do you think some sides? Do you think that maybe some of these so-called sides, like the top two sides, Mulgrave and Templestowe, did they lower their guard a little bit in terms of did they mentally switch off against Lilydale and not given the respect that they deserve?
Possibly.
Maybe. There is always a factor of complacency sometimes, for sure. I think when I see this score, I do sort of think about the way that Lilydale was able to limit Mulgrave's scoring. And given the fact that it is at the LSO, it does make it easier to do that. But, I just wonder if Mulgrave's system doesn't quite work at a ground like that. And I don't know, Lilydale, I really want to see them this year because I want to know sort of who their key players, especially in the back line, are.
Can we get down to Lilydale? It's only 5 minutes down the house.
Well, I think we're we're going to have to now.
Oh, beautiful. We can set up on the balcony up there in the LSO.
We'll see how we go. But with the way they're playing, definitely, Blake.
Surrey Park winners by 62 points. East Burwood by 77 points. Templestowe won by 34. And how about this? A good bounce comeback win from Waverley Blues after the week they had last week. They had a 22-point win over Croydon. So good stuff there from Waverley to bounce back after a really tough one there. Division 3, Ferntree Gully, big winners by 57 points. Knox by 124 points, 175 to 51 over Oakley District. The match of the round, Donvale winners 103 to the Basin 44. And the big talking point, Sylvan down all game, and they managed to beat Whitehorse by 9 points. So that was a big one there.
I just want to say I was pretty bullish about Ferntree Gully's chances on the preview podcast. I'm shocked at the margin, to be honest, but I'm not too surprised.
Was that because Jaden Stevens?
He did play today.
Yep. Maybe his presence. Well, someone did say, look, that I think it might have been you, Ryan, said, look, he's going to come in, he's going to influence the game because he normally touches the ball 30 times. So if he's touched the ball 30 times and kicked 4 or 5 goals, then he's done his job.
Wow, we've got a 2-point game here between Warrandyte and Bulleen Templestowe. Warrandyte lead by 2 points over Bulleen Templestowe, 91 to 89. 18 minutes into the final quarter. So if Lee, I don't know if he's not here, but if you can
we don't have access to all the games, so don't put him under the spot there.
No, he's doing a tremendous job, Lee Green. Churnside Park winners by 19 points. Kilsyth winners by 54 points. And the big one, 304-point win to Fair Park.
I've never seen the like.
I haven't seen a 300. And the lights are on. Serve, put the lights on, and we got that delivered. So this one will be interesting to see.
And encourage. I think that's Doncaster after being able to fourth last week, come back. Churnside, trying to run Churnside to 19 points, I think is meritorious.
Churnside maybe going through the motions a little bit in this one.
Yeah, Kilsyth took a long while to shake off M-Lock. And Fair Park, like I said, Fair Park did what Fair Park did. I mean, look, Bryce, does that mean Bryce will be expecting to get in the team of the week?
Same with Hayden Schroeder, no doubt, I would think.
Yeah, we'll certainly see. Both of them have been in Team of the Weeks in recent time. Any other games that, besides this Warrandyte Bulleen Templestowe game, that's still live, that's correct? That was, I think it was 18 minutes into that final quarter, but everything else is now pretty much final, or at least the result is certain to go one way.
Eastland would have an 18-point win. That's full time.
Yep. So keep an eye on that ball in Templestowe Warrandyte score, Blake, and if there's something happening, let us know. Just to bring attention back to this game, because we've still got a bit of time before we close up, and I'll take this to you first, Brash. For Donvale, now we've sat in this position now in multiple years, particularly the last 2 seasons where we've sat here and we've watched them pump sides in the home and away season against sides they actually go up and meet in the grand final, and they've ended up flipping the script. The Basin, what do they take out of today that they're going to move it forward going into a potential final series and potential maybe if they get lucky enough make a grand final?
Look, I think what they did to the Basin was the one thing that they were, at times, at periods of the game, they were able to deny Donvale space, especially in the opening 10 minutes. And then when they got their chance at the Basin in terms of a on the turnover and they pushed the ball through the midfield, they actually were. There was a system there. Unfortunately for them, they just didn't get their hands on the ball. And then when they did go, most of their forward 50 entries didn't hit a target. It's one thing that they could pick up on, and I think the other thing is endeavour. I can't question their endeavour. I think they tried very hard. Moving forward, and I said this during the broadcast, the 3 sides that we all think that it will be playing in the finals in 3rd Division, I still think that they'll all need to be at full strength, and they're going to have to find a way to try and play at least. They're going to have to try and at least try and play 50 minutes of football to try and put Donvale under some perceived pressure, because if they don't, I don't have any issues. I think the bigger the ground, the game suits Donvale. The smaller the ground, it plays back into the other club's hands because they can bottle it up. You put Donvale's game plan on a big ground, they're going to run all over the opposition side. At the end of the day, Ryan, if they go through undefeated, and that's when we can't actually say that, but if they do, the only pressure will be the pressure that Donvale put on themselves.
And BWS and Blake, I know you got the score. Warrandyte just kicked another one.
Yep, 97-89. So
that one's probably leaning towards the Bloods.
22 minutes into the final quarter.
Not quite done, but BWS and Blake, watching Donvale today again, for them, it's such a weird position because they've been in this division now for a few times and they've been going into this final series, minor premiers, and looking as the best side that everyone's looking at. What does that do for the mindset? Because obviously they're going to be going into probably another final series at the end of the year, as it's hard not to see them finishing on top, but they're certainly going to be in that top 2. How is that for the mindset going in after knowing what's happened in previous years? Because I think they know they are their best. They are the best side in this division. They've got the best list, but they've just got to play the footy at the right time of the year. And obviously, there's it doesn't matter how good you are in the home and away season. It's you're judged on what happens on grand final day.
They'll say that they're not thinking about it and they're not talking about it and they've blocked it out, but there's no chance that's the case. And I think that for the fact that it's happened 2 years in a row, I think it needs to be something that's addressed throughout the year as well. And especially once they've played every side first, they'll need to. What I think the way. Look, they moved the ball better than any side in this competition. The way that they created their switches today were unbelievably impressive for me. Their skill on the football is by far superior than any other side as well. Where sides can get them, and when they get to the big dance, or whether they make it or in the finals time, sides are going to have to go hard at Donvale. They're going to have to go the body, and it's going to have to go back to old school type football, a little bit rougher, a little bit harder, and to put them off their game, because otherwise they have just got too much class, too much skill, too much experience in this division. Like, let's face it, they shouldn't be in this division. They'd be giving a fair old crack going up one at the moment as well, if that was the case. This is the side that they've got. It's a mental game for them. Once it gets to the finals, they'll be working on that well and truly beforehand. You can't just pretend that never happens and then expect to get there and for things to be different. They'll be talking about it, and it's probably something we need to ask internally inside the club as the season progresses as we get to talk to more people, what are they actually doing about it? Because for them to say they're doing nothing is porky pies. So they are far and beyond better than any side in this division, and we don't like saying these things like this far out as well, but it is a fact, and the scoreline suggests that that's the case as well. They are absolutely the side to beat, and they'll be nervous. They'll be very nervous Star Football Club going into September.
Yeah, I reckon so. And your words of wisdom is completely true. And I think it's a hard one to say. From my point of view, you got to continue winning games of football because it brings the winning culture. You see the reserves and 19s, they're all winning as well. And they had 3 teams in the grand final last year where, the reserves only ones winning the grand final, but that was expected. So Donvale for me, they're the clear front runners by a long way. Probably if you got a horse racing and there's 1,200 metres to go, you count them in for that one. So we might do the close-up, fellas, before we head off to our things that we like to do outside.
What are you doing?
We know where you're going.
Big happy birthday to you, Blakey, yesterday. What's on tonight?
I'll be going to Montrose Footy Club after this.
Of course.
And then we'll
DJing,
decide,
of course.
And then we'll decide where we'll go after that. So they'll be up and about. That's
where do you go out around that part of town these days?
Oh, I don't. We start there. We start there, and then
I'll surely the Dorset.
No, I get that, but where do you go? Yeah, the Dirty Dorset.
Yeah,
surely
yeah,
the Dirty Dorset.
Down to York. No, down to York. They can just go roll down the hill.
The York's not great. Sorry about that one, but
lucky they're not a sponsor.
They used to be.
Either Richmond or St Kilda for me. That's where I always hang out.
Nice work, mate. Happy birthday.
Thank you. And we'll roll out. Wayne Brasher, Jared Beadland, thanks for your kind special comments.
Thank you very much, Blakey.
Thanks, Blake. Much appreciated.
Josh and Chris on the boundary.
Pleasure to be out here at Donvale as always.
Yeah, same here. Thanks, Blake.
And to Ryan Long, who just was sitting out today and feet up on the chair sort of thing. How did you go, mate?
It was nice just to take a back seat today and listen
today?
to you. No, I'm never in the shorts. I'm always in the pants. Very professional, Blake, and enjoyed your call. So thank you very much.
No worries. It's Tasmania's finest. Well, you can say now. Ben Warren-Smith, great to have you back. And tell the viewers when you're back, just get them a bit excited.
It'll be less than 4 weeks away since I'll be back. You'll be seeing more of me because, look, to be honest, like the broadcast that this team does from LKLM Media and this team is unsurpassed anywhere else. And, I've called in a couple of states now, and this is just the best in the business. So this is where I want to be, and it's been great to be back with you boys. And a great call by you today, Blake.
Thank
you.
Yeah,
great
good.
riding shotgun and seeing your progression, mate.
No, thank you very much.
BWS, just ask Lee if he's got a spare splitter, mate.
Private joke, but we'll talk about it.
Okay.
LKLM Media got that one correct. Well done to all the work you do. I think Megan did 2 games every other week, so done tremendous work there. And to Kate as well, so with all the women's stuff that she
And she'll help you out with the maths too. It is astrophysics, by the way, so that was what the joke was earlier.
There you go. So we're going to wrap it up. Donvale big winners here over at the Basin. We don't have to score in front of us, but it was 104-43, I think it was. So well done.
103-44.
And that has been another edition of the Eastland Match of the Round.